Hello, love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Start off with the biggest news of the week. The Rats lost! If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, love wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And y'all know what that means.
What does it mean?
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, that's not what that means.
No, it's another new episode. What? Isn't that that's the thing we do? That's the trend nowadays, right?
Yeah, that's
what
the
we
thing.
say.
That's what's
It's another
popular.
new episode of Between Two Beards. We already got Tom Talks Rubbish saying,
Tom's
what's
in the-
up, party people? What is up to you, my friend? We're going to get you on this show real soon. Don't you worry. We need some more Tom on this show. But we have a friend of ours chilling in the back. Not even 10 minutes in. I had Pluggo look, Ophelia. I had Pluggo look.
It says, according to Google, like 30 seconds. But
Which
as
the
long as
intro
you're
is
not,
like, that's fine.
as long as you're not excessive about it, it is what it is. Mrs. Pluggo saying it's bedtime. I'll meet you there, honey. Hey, Warren's coming on. I already blew
Yeah, you did. You blew that.
I blew the
that.
thing.
You kinda-
Warren and JPJ, take over the stream. I'm heading to bed with Mrs. Pluggo. I started podcasting to get all the chicks. I got the chick.
It's true. It's true. You did. I can't argue. I can't argue with it. Why are you still here?
Can I go to bed too? It's
Yeah, I
been
was
a
gonna
day.
say why. Yeah.
We got room.
Yeah.
I mean,
There you go. Well, Mrs. Pluggo saying Warren is his.
Yeah, look.
Warren is her favorite.
Thank you.
Warren
Thank
is her
you.
favorite.
as I blew the intro, Warren Hayes of the Mr. Warren Hayes Show has decided to join us today and apparently go to bed with me. This is going to be an interesting stream.
Oh, well, you know, it's I don't know. We talk about pro wrestling for hours on end. How could that situation be any stranger than what we do on Thursday nights or Tuesday nights or whenever the hell we do this?
There you go.
By the way, you're absolutely right for the monetization thing. You're absolutely right. We just got to be careful not to go too hard. You know, with the intro, with the Joe's intro. You're absolutely right. You know, as long as it's not super early and as long as it's not on the in the title or something, y'all will be good. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Almost 2 minutes with our intro, with the countdown and the intro.
Yeah.
It's almost 2 minutes before anybody hits the screen.
You're good.
I'm not going to do it every week. I just felt like this week, for some reason, we'll talk about
that trendy SOB Christian,
Christian Cage, man. Setting the world ablaze. Setting the
greatest
world
pro
ablaze.
wrestler around in 2023, and that's not even a bit.
I
love
agree.
his stuff so much.
I
It's
agree.
Incredible.
He is absolutely. Okay, I'm going to sit here. I watched TNA back in the day, but not religiously.
Sure.
So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a connoisseur of his work while he was on Impact. But of the Christian that I have regularly watched on my television screen, without question, this is, I think, my favorite and the best work I've ever seen him do. Maybe not in ring, but like, although the match with Dark, it's still could be there too.
There's arguments for that too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because just this past weekend I was watching TNA Genesis 2006, right? It's the big Kurt Angle Samoa Joe match, right? That's the year WWE fired Kurt Angle, and just a couple of months later he's showing up in TNA, and then it's a big deal, and Joe's on his undefeated streak. It's like, the dream match of the decade that we're billing it as, right? And Christian Cage is on the show, and he's fighting another guy that had a career, AJ Styles.
That had a career. Just one of those guys.
And it is impressive. Okay, well, this is 2006. Someone do the math for me. This is not 20 years. It's 17 years. Thank you. And he is the same character, just more refined, more precise. But he cuts his promos and he's saying bullshit. He's being two-faced, and then the way he wrestles a way that probably all of us would wrestle, in a sense that I am not waiting for you to do this move, I'm doing this instead, kind of thing. He still does all of that, but he's just like 17 years later, wiser, better, smarter. It's tremendous stuff. It really
realized that hating on dead dads is a meal ticket. Let's get some hellos out. Like, Sullivan's in the house. Where's Tom saying, well, he sees why we couldn't have him on tonight. Yeah, Tom, like we said, we'll get you back. Philly's in the house just to say hello. I didn't get to say hello during your whole cursing spiel, JPJ. Your potty mouth.
I said one word.
You said that one word means a lot. So yeah,
it does.
And I texted old JPJ last night and said,
I texted you.
I said
you've been a Christian hater.
You know how I feel about Mr. Outwork Everybody.
Yeah, you've been a Christian hater.
Opinion, this is probably the best work of his career.
After Dynamite ended, which Dynamite, but after Dynamite ended, I messaged you. There were I thought. Listen, I thought it was mediocre. I would say, I'm not going to say it's bad. I thought it was mediocre. But like the Christian thing, that whole last segment, loved it. The Nick Jackson, Ray Phoenix match, loved it. Like there were good stuff that happened on it. But I thought overall, like I expected more coming out of, you just have WrestleDream, Edge shows up. It's like, oh, new era of AEW, new this, new that. I expected more of a punch last night. It wasn't, I'm not going to say it was bad. I don't think it was bad, but I just expected more of a punch. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I texted Pluggo and I was like, Christian might be on the run of his life right now. Like, this is incredible. And even, Pluggo responded and he said, I think it's the best work of his career. And I was like, wow, I'm proud of you. Because Pluggo has been a known Christian hater.
But I've always said, I don't like the whole outwork everyone thing. But he's doing good work.
He's tremendous, and
I don't have to like everything to appreciate it either.
I know. No, this is true. This is very true. That's very fair and balanced of you, Pluggo. Legitimately,
that's what I bring to the table, Warren. I'm fair. I'm balanced. I'm the voice of reason on this program.
It's true.
Sure.
Ophelia is in the chat asking if we are going to get more plant talk this evening.
Oh, we can. Well, here's
the thing. First of all, do we have any new? Are they all the same as last time? Do we have any new?
I have new plants, but they're in my living room.
Got it.
Hang on.
Oh.
This is the second stream this week that somebody has left the seat to go to another room. On 4 Exposure, Blair went into Spencer's bathroom to check which way his toilet paper.
What was it? Was it under or over?
He's an under guy.
Spencer's an under guy.
Spencer's a toilet paper under guy instead of flap over. Yeah.
Okay.
See, Warren, I used to be an over, I've switched to being an under.
I have mainly been an under, but I have been an over in past.
But and I think ultimately
Under's the way to go.
I think that's by design. I think that's how it's been designed.
Correct. You're not supposed to be.
And I always thought, and I was very uppity. about being an over guy. And I remember looking down on people who would tell me,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, no, I put it from behind." I would go into people's bathrooms, and you've probably done this too, Joe, where people had it under, and then you're sitting there, and you're having this tremendous dump, and everything is, you have these moments of clarity when you're having just these tremendous, gut deliveries, right? Just like everything, your spaghetti house is just emptying out, right? So you turn around and you look and you reach over and you're like, no, this is wrong. This is under. You flip it around, you put it on top, and then you take care of business, right? I was one of those. I was one of those people.
Yep.
But not anymore. Now it's just, under is fine.
Yeah, I'm an under guy. We have Ophelia saying if you have pets, over is actually easier and it's too fun for the cats. The cats will unroll it if it's
That's
over.
a good point. That is
under is a lot harder for them to be, But we have under is the way.
Yeah, I have a bird.
Yeah.
I have a bird.
because,
The bird lands on top and then pecks at it. So regardless.
So I essentially
Regardless.
I'll never be invited to Spencer Love's home because I had my co-host for my Saturday show, Blair. He stayed at his house because he was at the LPW 19 event. So he did our show from there, and I kept saying like, "Hey, you should go check and see what he's got in his fridge. You should go." I'd be snooping. So I don't think I'm ever gonna.
Do we know what Spencer has in his fridge? Did we figure this out?
Apparently, there's some chocolate milk in there, but it wasn't Spencer's. It was TJ Cannon's, according to Blair. We tried to get Blair to go. We had a debate on whether it would be worse to wake up Zach or Spencer. Turns out Spencer and Zach both kind of woke up and walked in the room, and we asked them, and it was without a doubt Zach. I said for sure Zach would stab you. I feel like if you tried to wake him up. So
Zach feels like he's a jumpy sleeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a guy who's like, it's like he hears something and he wakes up in his prime. It's like
just in the neck with a knife, and you're like,
and he
he's
works
like,
out
sorry.
too, right? Like he'll just kick your ass.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It came down to it. He's fit.
Spencer would be just incredibly nice, passively nice about it. Like, hey, friend, like, thanks for the wake up, but
he'd do one of these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
That's exactly how he.
Greatest dream.
That's exactly how he comes up. Like he. Yeah.
Let's go have some shredded wheat, and I'll tell you about it.
Shredded wheat.
Gotta get your daily
Shredded wheat.
fibers.
Where
Gotta
does
stay
shredded wheat
regular,
rank?
friends.
Where does shredded wheat rank on the Warren Hayes cereal scale?
Can't believe the show.
Oh no,
We had a
it's
tier or a
terribly
tier,
low.
like a tier of.
It's an F tier. I hate shredded
tier.
wheat.
Like, what
I
about
really,
like
really hate
frosted shredded wheat? Like, there's something about that half and half.
Frosted, like the mini wheats, or you're talking about
That's like mini wheats. Yeah, that's a B tier for me.
Yeah, I was
What are we
gonna
doing?
say, that's
S?
B.
Are we
That's B
doing
for me.
SA? Do we start with S? Is it S at the top?
like S tier?
Yeah, S tier.
Yeah.
S A B. Okay, then it would be B. It would absolutely be B.
Affiliate saying Spencer is a Disney character. Sure.
I don't
What
know that.
in the chat? What Disney character do you think Spencer resonates with the most?
Disney character.
I don't think it's Cool Running since we've
I
learned.
gotta
from
think
this
about that.
program.
Well, I gotta think about that Disney character.
Which Disney character, Spencer?
All right, so now that
The
what's
teacup
what's an S
from
what's
Beauty
an
and the
S
Beast?
tier cereal for Warren Hayes? You don't have to give me all of them.
Fruit
But-
Brute.
Oh, what is that?
The
I don't even know.
what
Is
is-
that just a Canadian thing?
What is that?
You guys have never heard of Fruit Brute?
What?
No.
It's you've heard of the monster cereals, right? Frankenberry.
What?
Oh, Frankenberry Count.
What in the Canada are you speaking right now? Fruit Brew.
Frankenberry, Count Chocula,
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the three standards.
Yeah.
Listen, I am of the generation of the Saturday morning breakfast cereal. Okay, so
I love cereals. That's why I asked.
So those are the three standards.
Yeah.
That have existed like for time immemorial. But General Mills also had two side. How you doing, Joseph? We got. There's two other brands that they had. Yummy Mummy. Okay, which essentially was like a Fruit Loop type of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And they had Fruit Brute. Now, since you guys don't know what Fruit Brute is, and don't open up your Google machines,
I'm not.
okay? Let's walk through this. Frankenberry. What monster is that? We know what monster is that, right?
Frankenstein. Yeah.
Frankenstein. Count Chocula.
Yeah. Count.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Blueberry.
Ghost.
So, fuck, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Yummy Mummy. It's in the
Mummy.
fucking name, right?
Yeah.
What is Fruit Brute?
Brutus.
I'm trying to think of like
Brutus
what
the Barber
brute, like as in, like a big
No,
person,
no,
like
it's
a,
not
like a
wrestling
brute,
related.
like a brute, like a.
The name is Fruit Brute, and I'm asking you. You know,
I honestly
Frankenstein,
have
Count Chocula, ghosts, mummies. What is Fruit Brute?
I don't know.
It is a werewolf in suspenders, mind you. So, I have always been attracted to Fruit Brute. I have never been able to properly have Fruit Brute in Canada. Their distribution is terrible. But the day that I finally got one, I was in my 30s, and I chomped down on that, and it was a revelation. Plus, on top of that, it is the only one of the breakfast of the monster cereals that was ever in an art film.
Really?
In Quentin Tarantino's seminal Pulp Fiction. Not fucking Frankenberry, not Count Chocula, that fucking poser. He's not even a real vampire. And Boo Berry in his little fucking straw hat. Go kick rocks, you son of a bitch.
So if you guys,
Fruit Brute made it into I think he's what's his name? Eric Stoltz. Isn't Eric Stoltz and that the you know, the guy that drives the adrenaline into
Hey guys, if you could please send super chats our way to pay for the swear jar that Warren and JPJ have officially blown today, we would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. You can send super chats right here in the comments. Also, subscribe to the Love Wrestling Patreon. Just a few dollars a month and you get access to all sorts of fun stuff, because apparently we're going to need to pay for this FCC swear jar. You potty mouths. I got kids.
You know, Warren, last week we went off on like a 30-minute tangent.
Candy. How do you feel about candy corn?
Where we just talked about candy. Which I love me some candy. It is spooky month. It's candy month. It's, you know. And candy corn was a discussion.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna tell you.
No,
like around here, when I was a kid, we weren't really exposed to candy corn, but we did have. But yeah, but later on, when I did finally get around to candy corn, like I agree, it's kind of trash. But we had like these hard taffy, like super hard, like taffy nuggets that were wrapped up in that were in a little wrapper, and you'd unwrap them, and then you go put them here, and then you try to chew on them, and then you just hope that your molars didn't stay stuck in them, kind of thing. They were terrible, and they were cheap. So everyone would just, like, you know, handfuls into your bag, and you'd be like, "Oh, come on, where are the candy bars? You know, it's like where are the Tiger Pops? Where's all of this?
What's a Tiger Pop? What is going on here today?
A Tiger Pop. It's a lollipop, but when it was white, but it had like colored swirls inside, like stripes.
We got called pizza in the house saying
they were really good.
Candy corn is ass.
It is.
We got Have guys saying, saying candy corn is great. It's like pineapple on pizza. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
How about candy corn on pizza?
I'd eat that. Smash.
I don't know.
Smash.
I'd have to. No, I don't think I could do that. Pluggo's in though. Pluggo's in on that.
I'm all in on it.
Pluggo's all in.
Candy corn guy, Pluggo?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
He likes. I don't know the candy corn. I
like the candy corn, but I love those little candy corn pumpkins. You know what I'm talking? Smash.
Where they're like little miniature pumpkins, but it's made.
There's a reason I've got this gut. I like what I like.
Oh, I mean,
I just be smashing. There are multiple reasons, but candy corn around this time of year. Oh, game over.
Can I tell you though? When I went to Ireland, the chocolate over in Ireland is like 1,000 times better than any chocolate you can get over here. Like,
I'm not surprised.
Cadbury was the main company, but it's not the it's the same company, Cadbury, but like when in America, at least I can speak for, when we talk about Cadbury, we talk about the Cadbury eggs. That's the only time we talk about Cadbury around here.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But over there, all the main chocolate bars are Cadbury, but it's like the richest, smoothest, most delicious tasting chocolate you'll friggin' eat. And I'm like, none of the chocolate over here tastes like that. Tastes like this. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Because they had that wax shit. What is it, paraffin or something like that?
Yeah, it was just like I had a bite, and they had like all different ones. They had like a Cadbury bar that had cookie dough in the middle of it. Like, and I'm just like, bro, why is come on?
That's awesome.
You can't have these in the stores. I'm gonna.
How was your trip to the homeland?
Oh, it
We
was
haven't
wonderful.
talked since
It was.
then.
I know we haven't. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Stayed in a nice little coastal town, but we were within a couple hour drive of Kinsale, of all the other.
Sorry, Kristen, I'm married. I appreciate the offer. Mrs. Pluggo is the apple of my. That's Kristen Ashley. That means you have to sing, Warren.
Oh, that's right. I do have. This is permitted here. Kristen Ashley, the first lady of the Mr. Warren Hayes show, and also an occasional guest on LoveWrestling.ca. Yeah.
Boom.
Lovely. Yeah, Warren. The two things that stuck out to me the most were the people. Mm-hmm. The people were incredibly nice.
Yeah.
Like,
can you believe
incredibly nice.
The Irish, nice and not repressed. It's just it's so weird.
And it was the lifestyle. Like, nobody, like, people, obviously there were restaurants open, there were shops open, people were going to work every day. Duh. But you could feel the lack of a grind. And as a person who's worked in retail myself for 22 years of my life, I was like, when I would go into these coffee shops, when I would go into these restaurants or these shops, I was just like, it just doesn't feel the same as it does over here. Like, just that grind. Everybody's trying to go as fast as they can and trying to get in, get out, blah, blah, blah. Even the workers are like, get in and get out. Like, over there, it was like, no. It was like, yeah, we're working, duh, but like, we actually like enjoy what we do a lot.
Me too, happy guy. Me too.
It was, yeah.
I just went 6 to midnight.
But then probably not. Were there many franchises? Or?
No, I mean, when we were taking the long drives to places, you saw some of them. Like, there were Subway, there was McDonald's. Sure. There was things of that nature. But there were every restaurant in the towns we were staying at there were very few that you saw in other towns. All the pubs were wonderful, local. And they were just small, local. You walked in there and you could tell that everybody in there knew everybody. You know what I mean? Whether any time of day they'd walk in, hey, Mike, hey, whatever, and they'd be like, and it was like very communal, and it was just, I don't know. That was the stuff that stuck out to me. Like, obviously, it was beautiful. We went to the Cliffs of Moher. That was amazing. Kinsale was like the nicest weather day we had, and we needed it because it was like a beautiful, colorful coastal town, cool shops, cool like bars and things of that nature. So it was a really good trip.
Is what you went to Ireland the day there was sunshine.
We had one day of sunshine, and it just so happened to be the day we were in like the fanciest town that we visited. So it made sense.
Perfect.
The rest of the time it was not hot, not warm, cloudy, rained occasionally, but not all the time. We saw a cow crossing, which was a big deal. We saw some guy.
Wow.
We were driving home from somewhere. I forget the day. And we saw a dude. I was driving, and obviously getting to learn how to drive on the wrong side of the road, and the other side of the car was a little
jarring.
Fun. Yeah, it was fun at first. I was like, woo. But so we're driving home, and there's just a dude in the road, and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, what is this? Is something going on here? Different country, just this random guy, and he's just kind of going like this. And we
and in your brain, you're going, this is how horror movies start.
Nighttime-ish.
He's pointing to the hostel down the road.
This is over. He's going to stop us. I'm going to think he's friendly because everyone's been friendly, and he's going to slice my throat. And that's
next thing you know, he's got a scythe out of nowhere. Exactly.
But then I'm not exaggerating, 150 cows. we were parked for 14 minutes. I timed it. 14 minutes.
Holy shit.
We were parked while just all these cows just crossed the road. It's unbelievable. I was sitting there like, it's a lot of cows. 14 minutes. 14 minutes.
It's a lot of cows.
Yeah, it's a lot of cows.
I mean, what else can?
But like,
what more analysis can you provide here?
Listen,
really?
I work for a coffee company. When I have to open my store and I have to wake up, my alarm goes off at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Right. Nothing over there open before 9 o'clock. Nothing. And everything, like, restaurants stayed open, but at 8 o'clock, restaurants were done. They were done. No restaurants were
Really?
open till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. The pubs were open till 11:30, maybe midnight on a Friday and Saturday, but not super duper
Really?
2, 3. Yeah. And it was just, but it was the lifestyle, and everybody, it just seemed like everybody, like they would after work, they'd walk over to the pub, they'd have a beer or two, and oh, it was wonderful.
Walk back home.
Oh, it was wonderful. But it was
Like
beautiful.
that,
I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to come back. I would like to. Wait, is this a Mormon village? Maybe. Lot of green, lot of land, cows and sheep everywhere. But the beer was good. I had a Guinness in multiple places, but the main beer of choice for the week, I went with Smithwick's, the red ale, the Irish red ale.
Sure.
Big fan of that. It was delicious. The food was good. Everything was good. It was a wonderful time.
Fantastic.
It was a wonderful time.
I'm glad you had a wonderful time, man.
Yeah.
Makes me
I
happy.
know. You just started asking me like right as we had to go live. I was like, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But no, it was a good time. It was a good time.
You want to see my plant?
Yes, I know you got up and got a plant. Let's talk some plant.
That's how this started. Then we started talking about toilet paper.
So, like about 2
Is this
weeks
another
ago-
one of the Spenny Love purchases that you bought with Spencer Love money?
Oh, of course. But yeah, I was very frugal with it because a couple of weeks ago, you know these companies that offer plant services for companies.
Yes.
You know? Like so they will supply companies for your office, for your shop, and they will come water them and fertilize them. Well, they were having a sale, right? And it opened to the public, right? It was a sale. Because me as
We
an
don't
average
bring
Joe-
Warren on for his wrestling takes. Horticulture it is.
So you know, normal Joes like me can't go into this place, but now it's like open to the public sale. Look at this! Look at this fucking beauty that I got. Look at
Oh
this.
wow.
Look
Yeah,
at
that
this.
looks nice.
This is
Yes.
Yeah, it's right in the microphone. There we go. This
It's a sizable
is,
plant.
Yeah, no, it is huge.
Yeah.
It is an umbrella plant.
Umbrella
is what they
plant.
call it. And
Okay.
it is tremendous. Look at this baby. Look at
Yeah,
this.
that
Look at
looks
how big this-
like a wonderful plant.
Do you
this is
call
why
it?
it's in the living room.
Do you call it Brie Bella?
No, I don't give names to my plants.
Okay, so you are a
Out-
plant
out
lover,
in
but
pu-
you are not
out into the
you are not a
world, but
plant lover to the
secretly-
extent that you give names. to the
It's
plant.
secret. They
Well,
all
not the
have names.
plants.
Yeah.
Not the plants.
I've known people that have named their plants.
Oh, I know people who name their plants too. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
That weirds me out a little bit. It's the kind of thing. Oh, hey, did you see Fred? Oh, you mean your spider plant? Yes. Okay.
Sorry, Warren. Kristen Ashley is now going to be calling that Brie Bella.
Once I had a Misfit Wrestling podcast popping in the chat. Joseph with it said he would love to have a Smithwick's, and that was my thing. I obviously took a ton of pictures and stuff like that, but like on social media, my thing was every town that we went to, I posted a photo of me drinking a Smithwick's in that town. That was kind of my
Good job.
That was my thing for the week. I was like, you know what? I'll be a
a good
tourist
thing.
this way. This is my touristy thing. But
Warren will
I
do
would
it all,
love to
but he
go back.
won't name plants. He won't do
Hey,
it.
listen, I respect it. I respect it. Have you ever named your cars?
My current car is actually named Fruit Brute.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
What are the odds?
had the application and everything. I don't know. Can I pull it up without divulging any kind of weird information? Let me take a look here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to plaster my.
Pluggo, have you ever named a car? Have you ever named an inanimate?
I've
You never. I'm gonna try to do this not the Seth Rollins way. You have never named an inanimate object?
No, actually, I don't really do that. No.
Fair.
I have a,
Can
you
we
know.
see right here.
Oh,
This is my app right there.
Oh yeah, Fruit Brute. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real life.
He did it. He did it. Yeah. Good stuff. Good
I'm sure
stuff.
Kristen's having a fit right now, but that's fine.
Yeah, she warned us. She said, "Don't get him
She
started."
did
on his
say
plant."
she has seen this movie before.
Yup, a few times. Look what I got! Then I pull out
You pull it. She's like, "Oh, another. Oh yeah.
Oh, another plant! Yay, Warren! Hey,
Yep.
that's all right.
Listen, as someone who's not a plant person, I used to see someone who was a plant person, and I got to tell you, when we would go to these plant places where they have the ton of plants and stuff, I was mesmerized. And I'm not even a plant person. I would walk in there and I'd be like,
That's tremendous.
"Oh,
I
You
do
just wanna
the
live there.
yeah." You know,
I do the same thing but not
I
with
agree.
plants, but with this kind of junk. I'm like, Mrs. Pluggo, but it's the Adam Cole. And like, I don't have this one and I need it. And she's just like, oh, sweetie, whatever floats your boat. Like they got the Samoa Joe out now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to complete the set. She's just like,
she gets it. That's fine. But
She's
at
like,
the same time,
"Eh."
she also knows Christmas tree season is coming.
well, I
up,
was gonna
so-
say, Half Guy just said Pluggo has. I'm sure Pluggo has names for his
There you
Christmas
go.
trees.
I don't have names for my Christmas trees. Mrs. Pluggo, if
Does she?
she's
Is this a
listening,
spoiler?
I don't know. I'll ask her. Fun fact, while we were chatting, she sent me a text that she's at Target. So she was literally right here.
So
20
she
minutes
left.
ago, but she just left with Owen and they're at Target shopping. So I'm sure some Christmas
Well,
stuff.
tell her to see if they've got a Riho, like or
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
the
get a Riho.
get a
would
Riho
work.
or a Kenny Omega Hangman Adam Page 2-pack, something like that.
We got Misfit saying it's really the WWE Plant Lane preview. Well,
Thank
speaking
you.
of
Yeah, I put that in the title. Well done, Misfit. I put that in the title because I was like, before this monumental occasion went down, where Warren was available, and we have Drew coming on in a little bit. Like, I was like, we'll talk about Fastlane, of course. Instead, we're not.
Well, I figured
Yeah,
me and Drew
let's talk
do
about
the AEW show on Sunday, so I figured we'll try our best. We did talk a little bit about Christian, but we'll save the AEW talk for when Drew joins us, and the four of us can banter.
I just
we got a
think it's
half
funny.
hour.
I should just change it.
You know, I'm usually in your chats every Tuesday night watching your show
yes,
live.
You are, Joe. You are.
Correct. Wow, I missed one this week. Sorry.
It's all right. It's fine.
It's okay. Well, it was his triumphant return.
I'm sorry.
He had been out the last
no,
couple
no,
weeks.
no. Let's
Yeah, I was
Son of
on
a
death's
bitch.
door. I'm
Let's
on
do
death's
this.
He was
door
on
for 2
sick.
weeks.
Let's do this.
As his triumphant return.
I was in your chat asking you to sing a song. You told me no. Last
Oh,
time,
wait, what is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
was-
hell no, no one wants.
last
to sing. What are you
time,
talking
last time I wasn't on my own show for the first time ever. You were all like, "I'm pro no Pluggo stream. Here's $5."
about? Look, hey,
It's true. You did
listen
give us
here,
a super.
buddy.
You did give us a super chat. You gave us a super.
because he doesn't show up to my fucking stream. That's why.
Show. I didn't come this Tuesday because I was.
Look, so we don't listen. It's
I
okay. Life
missed
happens,
you,
bro.
Lord.
Life
I'm
happens.
sorry.
It's
I will
fine.
be there Tuesday.
Well, I
No
was gonna
question
say.
asked. After I talk to the LP.
Well, listen, if you had been there on Tuesday, you would know that there is no stream next Tuesday because of the head-to-head
Doing it
battle,
on Monday,
and I'm doing
baby.
it on Monday.
Doing it on Monday.
You know this already.
Well, then I'll be there on Monday.
next
Even
Tuesday-
better.
Because
Even
next
better.
Tuesday we get Title Tuesday on AEW,
Come
and John
Tuesday.
Cena and Cody are showing up on NXT. Man, what the
That's
hell?
awesome.
I've
That's
You see,
awesome.
you see the meme going around of Triple H at the desk, and it says like, "Hey, I know Survivor Series is in Chicago, but are you free next Tuesday?" Like he's talking to Punk. It's good stuff.
Listen,
Misfit
I
does
am an
ask, though-
avid supporter of the Mr.
Misfit
Warren
does
Hayes
ask
show.
Warren about his thoughts on the many injuries plaguing Stardom.
It stinks, but in the history of Stardom, it's not necessarily something new. These girls go incredibly hard, despite their tremendous rigorous training that they go through, and I'm not even trying to do a bit here. They train. They train tremendously, very young. Especially when it comes to resistance in the neck and so on and so forth. Vocabulary words should be coming soon. Hang tight, folks. But the regimen they go through protects them a lot, but only to a certain degree, because it's a human body. So when you have people just dropping like flies, ladies like Utami, who's always been a fucking beast. Well, it's not much of a surprise, It's unfortunate, but that's why a lot of them also retire very young too, And I say retire with quotes because you never really retire in wrestling, but a lot of them do retire young. That's why a lot of them try their luck in WWE because the style is not as hard and they're making a lot more money, So they can't all be Asukas Asuka wasn't in Stardom, but they can't all be Io Shirai's. Let's put it that way. They can't all be Kairi Sane's. But you know, there's some of them are Sarays, you know, just they come in and just doesn't work out and they head home. But those who do, I mean, they absolutely appreciate the benefit. Like, you know, I'm sure Kyrie, when she started heading back to Stardom after leaving WWE, I'm sure she was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember, this is kind of hard on my body, and she was already injury prone at that point as well. So, you know, if the rumors are true that she's going back to the Fed, well, good for her. She'll continue working and get a big paycheck and won't have to work as hard as she does, as she would have in Japan if she continued. So, I mean, it sucks and it's terrible, but that's always sort of been the case. So, of course, we can get into discussions as to whether they should work safer. Well, they're already working as safe as they can in the style that they're doing, right? Because it's also a question of style. Are you going to ask Julia or Shuri or, you know, or Tom Nakano to slow it down? They're all going to tell you in a very cute Japanese way, fuck you. You know, it's like, they're not going to calm down. That's how it goes there.
And wrestling is like that. I mean, you have what was it, AEW a couple years back had that slew of injury bugs. It's all cyclical.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Boris, I'm sorry that you're sick and dying.
Yeah, Boris says that he is currently sick and dying, but he was saying hello. So feel better, Boris.
I do. I had like one actual wrestling question I wanted to ask both of you because I've been sitting on it all week.
Well, what do you mean that? You had an actual wrestling question from the chat, from the
No, I have one. I actually have one this week. Like myself, I came up with one, and I wanted to know how you guys felt about people working at places that they want to work. Like everybody, like I saw so much vitriol for Jade when she went to WWE, and then I'm seeing all these people like having the nerve to be like, Edge has tarnished his legacy. Edge should be removed from the Hall of Fame. Like I saw one tweet where it's like, you should take him out of the WWE Hall of Fame. Like, what? Like it's his legacy for one. It's not yours.
Let's keep Hulk Hogan in there though, right? Am I right?
Right,
fellas?
right. Like, don't
go at WrestleMania
somewhere.
25, I guess he was supposed to fight John Cena. That's what he said. But he couldn't because he had to have emergency surgery.
Sure.
But Vince, man, he had it queued up, him and Shayna. That was what was happening.
But isn't that a weird vibe to be like we're mad at people for working places and making money?
It is strangely weirdo behavior and weirdo stuff. But in today's world, you have to expect it. You have to expect that anything that happens, there's going to be people that are going to come out and they're just going to shit on it, or they're just going to, like Edge has been around for 20, 30 years, 25 years he spent in WWE. They weren't really doing much with him since they booted him out of the Judgment Day. Like he's been here or there, not really doing much. He wants to go wrestle more and be with his buddy. Basically his brother. Who we kidding? He wants to be with basically his brother for his last however many years. And you have fans who, this dude has entertained us for 30 friggin' years. 30 years. Almost gave up his life, career, and a horrible neck injury to entertain us. And then he makes a decision finally that is for him. And everyone's like, oh, what the hell, man? I like WWE. You're a piece of shit. How dare you leave WWE? Shut up. That's all. I mean, it just shut up. It's not, you never left a job before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. These are people. Yeah, these are people who've never left a job for a better salary, different challenges. You look, and we always talk about money, but Joe Pluggo, you've probably left a job at some point where you're like, you know what? I just want to change the scenery. I don't like working with these people. I just want to go see someone else. I just want to go. No
more challenges. You need a new challenge. You need just for any reason.
So these are people who've never held a steady job in their life, and it's bozo behavior. But I agree with you, Joe, and I'll even one up you on this. This is what happens when you make an entertainment product your personality, okay? And because it's the same thing in multiple other instances of entertainment, whether it's films, so on and so forth. It's like, I'm all about Star Trek, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, someone leaves the cast of oh, fuck, you feel attacked because it is your personality. This is how you project yourself. Your Twitter handle is WWE Fan 1399 Love XX, you know, and all you do is retweet the main account and Instagram pictures of your favorite superstars. That's all you do. So when one of them leaves, that's your personality. You've decided that this is how you identify yourself publicly to other people. So of course you have this weird bozo behavior of trying to want to defend yourself because ultimately you're defending yourself. You're saying, I still made the right choice. He made the wrong choice, but I made the right choice. It's not a reflection on me. Do you understand? It's not a reflection on me that Edge has left. Yeah. And he's become Adam Copeland. That's not my Edge. That's the kind of weird, that's the situation, and it's legitimate, and it's bozo behavior. And
it's going to make a great out of context clip.
Yeah, but it's the same, like Warren just said, it's the same thing with the Jade stuff. AEW Superfan XXX444332. Like,
and
that's
I'm
who that
tell
is.
You, and here's the thing. And there's a lot of people who are waiting for this big gotcha moment when Jade actually becomes like a legitimate, true to form superstar. And it's not going to be a gotcha moment. She is going to be a true to form superstar. She is going to be in the perfect factory for her to come out on the other side as a superstar. And you know what? That's fine. Because she went to AEW, she tried it out, and it didn't work out for her there. So she goes into an environment which will work out for her there. You're job hunting. Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. And people are, AEW's dropped the ball. No, AEW couldn't serve her properly. They couldn't do it. I've heard the reports. Tony said, I gave her as much money and she still turned me down. And Jade, apparently it's not even as much money. Who cares? The point is that Jade made a decision to go to a place which will serve her better for probably what her objectives are, which is probably just to be on billboards and commercials and movies and on top of that, wrestling at WrestleMania, which is all fine. Good for her. She will be much better served in WWE than AEW could ever do it, because AEW doesn't have those chops to make that kind of star. And they showed it because they did kind of mismanage. Not kind of. They did mismanage Jade in AEW. So it's fine. It's all fine. I'll tell you, these kids would have built her brand, exactly. These kids would have lost their fucking mind if they were around in the territory days, where a guy would come in, they'd heat him up, and he'd go against the world champion. He'd either win or lose. If he won, he'd stick around a few more years, make some money, and then eventually he'd drop it. He'd go down the card, and then he'd leave from Memphis and he'd go to fucking Championship Wrestling in Hollywood, and he'd run there for a while. The people moving around is good for the business. The status quo was not. We've experienced 20 years unfettered of a major league promotion being in complete control and doing whatever they wanted, and it was not good for the business. Very good for WWE, but not good for the business. So having people moving around, it's good for everyone. It's good for the fans. It's good for the wrestlers who can go off and just try out other things. They can go make a big time, good living, doing what they're doing in another place. It's always been good and will always be good. Anyone who complains the opposite is a weirdo. It's bozo behavior. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we got Boris saying, back in the day when guys left ECW, the fans were merciless when they would leave ECW.
Now, okay, that's a very good caveat that he's bringing up there. Yeah. But ECW was different. It was because that's the idea, is that it was a very homegrown, intimate thing. Like, it was one of these things where if you knew, you knew, because it didn't have TV, you know, back in national TV back in the day when it was really, really going strong. So it was a lot more intimate. It was a lot more of all the wrestlers coming together to put on a really great show, even though they're not making all that more money. It was very rebellious. It was very anti-establishment. So when you had a guy leave to go to the Fed or to WCW, well, then the anti-establishment audience that were very, very attached to their ECW go, fuck you, sell out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you'd have Mick Foley come in and then do the I'm from WWE gimmick kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm not doing this hardcore nonsense. What are you talking?
Hilarious.
And that would be tremendously.
The stuff they did early on with Lawler, when Lawler would show up there and just entice that crowd.
Shane
They
Douglas.
wanted to murder him and things like that.
And Shane Douglas, these were gimmicks that worked tremendously in ECW because that's how the crowd was. ECW it's always been its own like microcosm in that respect.
See, there's always an exception to the rule.
Yeah, there's but even back then, you have Scott Hall and Kevin Nash showing up on Nitro, and people are losing their minds and like, oh, what are these motherfuckers doing? Excuse me.
And at the end of the day, they're all welcome back. Edge is not gonna if he wanted to try and say anything and it failed.
He wants to have his last match at WrestleMania. WWE ain't gonna go, screw you, buddy, you left. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to go, we can make some money on a big last match with Edge at WrestleMania. Yeah, come on back.
Especially if his AEW run works out for him. Even if it works out for him, he'll be like, no.
Let's finish where I started. Oh, I'm waiting for that promo.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though yesterday he's like, I want to be here for the next 12 years.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
But like, it's with all of them. Like, you're telling me that like Chris Jericho might not go back to have one last WrestleMania match when he's really ending it up. If that happens, like, what do you think? WWE's like Triple H is going to sit there and say, no, you left us for something. Of course not.
No, bring in Chris Jericho and have him do the JOB and the 1, 2, 3 to Austin Theory.
There you go. You could do all those types of things. I don't know. I just
don't do it.
Yeah,
don't
as
put
somebody
it in the world.
I know. As somebody who's like, I don't know. I'm a big fan of AEW. I still watch and like WWE. When I was younger in the Attitude Era, I preferred WWE over WCW, but I still watched both of them. I still rooted for both. It's just a very odd thing. I think it's a very odd thing because
even Edge last night,
people are just so.
He laid out all these awesome matches that I want to see him have, and I'm like, you can't do that over there.
He said Kenny Omega, Powerhouse, Miro.
Were you guys surprised where he was like, I've never fought John Moxley?
Yeah,
and
I was a little surprised. Yeah, because he wasn't. Yeah,
they fought in the WrestleMania 3-way. I was gonna say because of the timeline, like I was worried, like did he never fight Danielson? But he fought in that triple threat with Roman.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I mean it's weird to think about, but he was gone in 2011, and those guys debuted in 2012. So yeah, he missed all those. Yeah, he missed all of them. It's crazy.
Miro.
Okay, it was
Miro, Powerhouse Hobbs. Who else? He said Omega. He said Moxley.
Juice Robinson.
Juice Robinson. I was like, that was the one. That was the one where I was like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of these things is not like the other. He's good. He's talking Jay White. He's talking Kenny Omega and Juice Robinson. I'm like, wait,
yeah.
What?
But I mean, good for Juice. I love Juice Robinson. That guy wins me over more and more every week with his antics. But the fact that he
I saw a tweet the other day yesterday that said something along the lines of like the Tony Storm Juice Robinson household has to just be wild. Like just the ideas that are bouncing off those four walls.
And again, we'll probably talk more about Christian once Drew hops on here in a little bit, but like Hab Guy said earlier, he was like, I think currently Christian and Tony Storm are kind of doing career work right now. And Tony Storm, obviously, the character aspect of it is really what's, she's always been pretty good to very good in the ring, in my opinion.
Juice has not been this over since his his early flamboyant
CJ
Juice
Parker?
Robinson. The flamboyant Juice Robinson gimmick that he had in New Japan, which was baffling to a lot of us, but the Japanese audience has loved him. Like he literally kissed a baby at some point.
Oh, nice.
During that run. Someone had their child, lifted it up, he went and gave it back. He was just like one of these goofy baby faces.
And they haven't washed that baby since.
It could be. No, he's been doing tremendous work, and he had gotten so incredibly stale in Japan, like to the point where you're like, thank God, Juice is he's going to North America, whatever he does there, just get him off, kind of thing.
But Ben Omen in the house.
Hey, but then it turns out like he's coming in here and he's not only embrace the North American stuff, he's just diving headfirst into it. He's tremendous.
Yeah, and
he's tremendous.
He fits that whole thing. He's like, that you have the Bullet Club Gold, and he's just like the loose cannon of that whole, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just over the top. The entrance with them, like he's just going crazy.
Didn't Copeland call him the stray bullet?
Isn't that what he called him? Yes, the stray bullet.
That is so much better than Rock Hard.
Yeah.
That is so good. The stray bullet, Juice Robinson. That fucking rules.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Babies hate Juice. Hey, Ben, if you're you should DM me later. We should chat. We need to get you on. He's got a big match coming up at the end of the month here.
All right.
We got to get him on the show and talk about it.
Well, okay. So
great Fastlane talk, guys, by the way.
I know. I was
you know how this works, right?
I was about to segue. Listen, this show doesn't deserve more than 10 minutes.
In order to help the monetization, you got to link up early. A lot of things went down from the time I put the link out to today, and I was like, Fastlane preview, that's a good catchy thing. Yeah, no.
Well, we got 10. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll do it. We'll do it right now.
Well, I was gonna say this whole thing started by me saying that I was in the chat listening to Warren on Tuesday when he dove in to his Fastlane preview, and he went on record on his show by saying that this could be, I think you said could be.
Yeah, it has the potential
worst,
on paper
to be the worst pay-per-view PLE in WWE history.
No. I said of the year.
Year. Okay, never mind.
Let's hope not.
We've got some pretty low bars to jump there.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a couple of stinkers. Yeah, but of the year.
This pay-per-view right now, do I think it'll probably exceed our expectations? Probably. I feel.
Although Kristen says it's a bait and switch, real quick, I think all the stuff we just talked about would be more entertaining. To be honest, I should have put all that in the title.
It is
trip to Ireland.
Yeah,
toilet paper, candy corn.
Speaking of Fastlane, though, Pluggo will be there.
I will be there,
and Pluggo's going to be at the press conference after.
I am officially covering Fastlane as a member of the media.
Hell yeah! Did you pay money for this?
No.
Good.
Moving up in the world, man. Moving up in the world.
It's in
dry
Indianapolis, and I live about 2.5 hours out. So me and Mrs. Pluggo are going to make the trip. She's never been to a WWE event, so this will be her first one. And I haven't been to one since 2012 Survivor Series when the Shield debuted.
Oh, wow. All right, cool.
And not because I wouldn't go. I just don't go that often because they don't ever really come super close. But yeah. So I'll be there. If you're there, come say hi.
That should be fun. I'll
be in the press conference like, hey, John Cena, what do you think about Fruit?
I am professionally jealous of you, but I am very, very excited and happy for you. So that should be a lot of fun.
And I'll also be at Warrior tomorrow as well. So I'm all over the place this week.
Pluggo's got a busy weekend. Busy wrestling weekend for Pluggo. But this card has 5 matches as of right now. Yeah. So
and good night.
I mean, yeah. So there is a 6-man tag between the Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and either Joaquin Wilde or Cruz del Toro against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So we saw on SmackDown last week the Street Profits officially turned heel and joined Bobby. I mean, they were kind of with Lashley, but, he was like, you need to prove to me. And by doing that, beating the shit out of the LWO and Rey Mysterio was apparently how you prove that to Bobby Lashley. So they're officially on the heel side, which I'm actually intrigued by because I like the Street Profits, and they've been the same Street Profits for a long time. So give them something new. I like Bobby Lashley. It just feels like it's Hurt Business 2.0 to me, but fine. I like the original Hurt Business. I like all 3 of those dudes.
What are they calling themselves?
I don't know. Have they made a name yet? I don't think they have.
Is it the Pain Corporation?
Is that?
It's not the Hurt Business.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, I would like it if they just said screw it, like we're the Hurt Business, but they don't do that type of thing.
Solo Cup Brigade. I don't know.
Again, 6-man tag. no stakes in this match. I would assume.
They just don't like each other.
Yes, I would assume Lashley and the Profits will go over to establish themselves as kind of this new group you need to keep your eyes on. I personally think Santos Escobar should turn on Rey Mysterio after they lose this match. I think that would be.
Haven't people been saying
I thought
like 17 million
I thought he was going to turn on him after the title match.
I thought he was going to turn on that Waller effect.
Yeah, like I thought after the
he gives him that look though. It's not like it's unwarranted, but Santos always gives him that like smarmy look, like about to kick your ass. But then he just hugs him, and it's like TMU. Profits.
Yeah.
The profit business. We're in the profit business, just like our company, the WWE. We're all about profits.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So this match is.
Did you guys ever happen to watch Lucha Underground at all?
I didn't watch it religiously, but I've seen some of it.
You know, Santos Escobar he was one of the top heels, right? Of Lucha Underground. He was King Cuerno. And,
all right.
You know, imagine the mob boss luchador with the mask, just awesome stuff. Tremendous presentation. And he was booked like a badass, it's like they tried a little bit when they got him into NXT,
Yeah, I liked him in NXT, yeah. When they brought him in as Hijo del Fantasma, it's like, and they tried a bit of that to recreate the King Cuerno stuff. But I mean, Lucha Underground was not a perfect wrestling outfit by any means, especially the later seasons, but in those first original, like season 1, season 2, and he was such an integral part of it, and he was so tremendous. What I'm trying to get at is that he is an incredible heel, and if they want to lean into it and really make him like this, cartel type, just vicious, heartless dude, he'd be tremendous. And instead of this smiling baby face, LWO. Kissing babies, missing Eddie Guerrero, all right, that's fine. Let's try something else. Like he'd be tremendous. Yeah.
I would like to see the LWO have a little edge to them. I do think it's super kind of like over the top baby facey. Is that a word, baby facey? But I'm just like, I want some edge to that group.
They added kayfabe to the dictionary, so we could go with baby facey. Absolutely.
Baby face-ish is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not so good with the words.
It's fair. So that's one of the matches that's happening.
Yeah, I don't know who's into this match. Like
I'm
asking. I don't want to sound like I'm doing a bit here, but as I say multiple times, I don't watch the weekly WWE product because I value my sanity. But I do watch the main shows, like the PLEs. I keep abreast and I read up and I watch the YouTube videos, but I can't sit down and watch Raw for 3 hours, SmackDown for 2. Like I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But I'm legitimately wondering who is into the LWO and Bobby Lashley and his boys at this point. It just screams, hey, we're throwing things together, which is fine at some point. Like, not everything on your wrestling card has to be like this tremendously intricate, well-built thing.
It needs to be an 8-week build minimum, Warren. Jesus. God, now I'm just throwing.
So there was an 8-week build to this one. Am I completely off? Is that what I'm?
No,
this was I believe.
That's why no one's into it, Warren. It wasn't built properly.
You know what this feud lacks? It lacks Dom Mysterio. That's what it lacks.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, like
good old
I'll. Oh Jesus. Whoever in the chat, who was in the chat? Was that Ophelia who said this Mrs. Pluggo name her Christmas trees? She just texted me and said she's going to work on it, but they're all going to be named after boy band characters. God, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. I was actually, now that you mentioned Dom, I was going to say, like, I enjoy the gimmick because it makes me laugh, and he's kind of gotten a little bit better in the ring. Maybe there's hope for Dom. Maybe. I'm not saying there's a lot. I did like the Rhea segment on Monday when she was like, if you don't bring that title home on Tuesday, don't come home. I loved and her like blaming Priest. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, I would agree.
when they split these people up, Dom is toast. I don't know
Oh,
if y'all
for
realize
sure,
this.
for
Dom
sure.
Mysterio is toast.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest wrestler of all time. I just think that it's like this is
Hey, he's not
slightly
even-
works for me.
He's not even going to be the greatest wrestler in Omaha. You know what I mean? It's like,
There's some fan in Omaha that's like, don't you disparage the great wrestling lineage that is Omaha, Nebraska, you bums.
the fan who's saying that is probably a better wrestler than Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Dom should take over the LWO with Santos when Mommy kicks him out.
I was gonna say if Santos eventually turns on Ray, poor Ray.
Dom's
Everybody
in
just shitting all over
Sloppy
Ray.
shop, Ray.
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell? Oh my god.
I haven't thought about that promo in so long.
First of all, 3 of these 5
We don't run no sloppy shop over here.
Yeah, we don't run no sloppy shop. First of all, 3 of these 5 matches are tag matches. First and foremost.
Yeah.
So then we have
Gotta get
this
those
is the
checks.
only other match that is not for a title. We have John Cena teaming up with LA Knight, baby. Going against the Bloodline, who is represented by Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. So obviously,
I'm just gonna bring him in. I don't even care. What's
Yeah.
up, Drew?
Hey.
we're talking WWE. I know you don't watch WWE, but Warren barely does too. We're just getting through the Fastlane card to serve the people.
Because I
enjoying.
put it in the damn graphic.
Well,
show.
and then we will dive into some WrestleDream and some AEW.
But yeah, John
stuff.
Cena, LA Knight, the Bloodline is still kicking.
So
Yeah.
do you guys
Right
think?
now.
Oh, look at that! You got a cat
Yeah, a couple
invasion.
cats. Cat invasion.
Yeah.
Drew.
Do you guys think that they are throwing John Cena into the Bloodline thing because they need to give the Bloodline a shot in the arm because people kind of think it's lame now?
I think
Do you
it's
think that-
I think it's twofold. I think it's some of that, and I think that they're giving LA Knight the John Cena rub.
But didn't he get the John Cena rub at what was the other one? Payback.
Yeah, they hugged. They did a handshake.
They
or he
did the
said
thing.
the racism. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of viewed it more, and the fact that you mentioned that, you're probably more right than me. I just in my brain I was like, oh, they're having LA Knight, who clearly is the most over guy, team up with John Cena. They're gonna win. Cena's gonna basically be like, this is the guy. Like he's really the guy, and then they're gonna pin him up for Royal Rumble or something against Roman, and he'll lose. And
I did see that
something
they
like
have plans to have Cena versus Roman at the Saudi show.
all right.
So this is a way to like maybe facilitate that, even though John Cena used to be anti doing the Saudi show, and now he's like, I'm in. I got no checks have been coming in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
Well-
exactly.
He's like, I'll do whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe
but now
he
that's
joins
all-
the
that's-
Bloodline.
Mansions.
Yeah,
Yeah. The poor guy.
and then
Still
having
hasn't-
Man.
Bloodline has been lame for a while. I mean, yes, it's Mania.
I don't want to say
Been
I don't
pretty-
want to go full bore. I just don't understand what the direction is. I think they're just trying to tread all this water to get to Mania, but it's just I don't know where they're going with it. I don't understand it. That's all I'm saying.
I
It
don't
doesn't
miss
make-
talking about WWE at all.
they've lost the plot. Like, what does John Cena have to do with this? Hell, what does LA
Nothing.
Knight have to do with
Oi,
it?
what did Matt Riddle have to do with this? You remember when they did that after WrestleMania?
Yeah.
It's like,
Uh,
no.
I don't know. I
Cody Rhodes should have won.
don't, get
don't
started,
do
Drew.
it. Do it.
Don't
Do
get me
it,
started,
Jimmy.
Drew.
Yes.
I have been lamenting over this for months.
He
What they're going to do is Cody's going to win next year at Mania, and it's not going to matter as much as it should have this year. And it's stupid.
like
But he's not going to win it at Mania because The Rock's going to be there.
no, the Rock. The Rock's going back to Hollywood. They fixed that deal. The Rock.
Boy, hey, The
You never
Rock
know,
is
though.
another guy who's not cutting any checks.
Well,
these
that's true. And The
days
Rock's
either.
had a rough sliding of lately. Like he's had a lot of not bad movie takes. He's made a lot of he's not the everybody
Joe
doesn't
gets
see
it.
everybody doesn't see The Rock and go gaga. anymore over
Joe
The Rock.
gets it.
So The Rock might be like, how do I make myself look good again? Let me go back to my people.
You know, the XFL isn't this bulletproofing. Aren't they absorbing the USFL now? Aren't they doing So, you know, old Dwayne now, you know, what does he have to do to sort of get some good, you know, some good vibes back? Reconnect with the audience that will always love him regardless of how many Black Adams he does, right? Yep. He just trots right into WWE and everyone loses their shit. That's what Dwayne wants. He wants to show people that he still has the star power, and it's home for him. No one will ever judge Dwayne at this point.
I don't know. Misfit in the comments saying he's not playing for Mania, but you don't go on the Pat McAfee show and say what you said and then show up. I know it all was perfect timing about like WrestleMania 40. Still, like, you don't do that. That's my only problem. I don't think I got a chance to really talk about that because I think that was the week I missed. But like, he's planting these seeds, which is casting the seed of doubt, which means the WWE is going to hope that they can get him.
Correct.
Not work on the Cody part of the story, and then we're going to end up in this holding pattern.
Him fighting Judgment Day every week on Raw for 4 straight months isn't keeping that story alive over there?
I don't know, man.
Cody, I love Sami Zayn. I love Kevin Owens. I don't need them to see
Misfit. The Rock can say whatever he wants, but he's not saying that particular WrestleMania 40 is in play if it's not actually in play, because he knows the weight of that statement will cast a shadow for the next however many months it is till Mania.
And he knows that it doesn't take
because last year he didn't do that. Last year he was very he
was very coy.
Very coy. This year he's like, "Yep, I'm gonna be there." It's like, God damn,
because
he knows. The funny
ahead,
thing about Rock. Now, I watched him coming out on SmackDown a few weeks ago. I thought that was a great appearance.
Oh, it was.
You know, it was wonderful, honestly. But The Rock, even more than John Cena, even more than Batista, I mean, anyone who's successfully crossed over into acting just feels out of place at this point. Like, he just feels out of place in the middle of the ring. He's doing the things that The Rock from 2011 and The Rock from 2000 and The Rock from 1998 are doing to pop the nostalgia crowd. But it's almost like the president of the United States also being the janitor of the White House. It just doesn't really make sense, you know.
But
you
nostalgia,
President,
Drew.
Mr. President, you don't have to clean the toilet.
Look,
today.
I popped when The Rock showed up. I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
I was just gonna say,
true. I popped, absolutely. But it's like at this point, it's clearly obvious why The Rock is there. He's not there to come back for the WWE universe. He's there to pop a rating for SmackDown. That's it.
And collect a check or two.
And collect a check.
Check.
Yeah. Before we move on, but like he's saying, if The Rock could always change his schedule, because The Rock hasn't had a bad run in Hollywood like he's had the last like that. I think that part needs to be discussed, like we talked about a little bit earlier. Like The Rock hasn't had to come back the last 13 years because The Rock was making billions of dollars every year.
And to be fair, he couldn't schedule anything because there was nothing to be scheduled. So he could potentially, if he really wanted to, and that's why I think like you don't say that without this plan of like doing Mania, because like you can now go, I'm doing Mania and schedule around that because he doesn't have to be there for 3-4 months. He only has to do he could do the 6-week push at the end and still make his movies. But back then, like the last 13 years, he said movie, TV show, he's been super busy and there hasn't been a reason for him to really be there. This is the reason. And I just think it's
was that
either he shows up or he doesn't.
He didn't even show up for the anniversary.
It's a black cloud. It's a black cloud over the WrestleMania season, like Willie, because that's what we did last year. Remember last year? I know we're getting way off of the time, but last year we sat here and we're like, well, if you got Rock and Roman, you can't really do Sammy, or Cody's the story, but if you got The Rock, you got to do The Rock. And it just took over to the point where it's like, well, shit, you got these two awesome stories, but we might get The Rock. So they're doing it. They're not going to do that again because it would ruin. I know they will, and that's why I think The Rock will actually show up this time. I'm not going to lose any sleep if he doesn't, but I think he will. But anyway,
but
I think that what the plan might be is Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. I don't think it'll end up being WrestleMania because WrestleMania is too far away, and also it seems like it's gonna be Cody at WrestleMania 40. That's
what we were saying for WrestleMania 39.
Me and Pluggo were on here week after week.
It seems like it's going to be Cody for WrestleMania 52.
We were arguing week after week of whether Sami Zayn should beat Roman, and I said, nope, it's Cody. Cody's the guy. So Sammy didn't win, and then Pluggo was like, I get it. Cody's the guy. Well, guess what? Cody wasn't the fucking guy.
I don't.
What the hell?
Endeavor's a little bit. There's a little bit more money to be thrown around too with Endeavor, right?
This is a very good point you bring up, Plugworth, because nonetheless, TKO Endeavor, actually, as you said, is going to want a return on investment ASAP. They will want a ROI ASAP, as they say in the corporate structures, because of the ton of money that they put into this. To make this merger happen, they're not going to sit around and go, oh, well, it's okay if your first year is not profitable. No, and the investors are not going to stand for it, and they don't want the stock to tank. Right now, the stock is trading, the TKO stock is trading under what WWE was performing before the merger. So that's it's not good. That's not good. So they're going to want this kind of stuff that seems ancillary to wrestling fans, but for a business perspective, it becomes crucial.
Listen,
Misfit may reminded me of the elephant in the room.
I'm sorry, I'll go. All right.
a certain what do we want to call him now? CM Punk. What does the CM stand for?
Philip Brooks. Yeah, he'll be there too. He'll be there too.
I hope he is.
I hope he is too at this point.
Big Baby Punk, BB Punk, maybe. Yeah, it's most likely Punk will show up at Survivor Series.
Maybe.
It won't get me to watch. I really don't give a shit. And
I hope he does. I hope he becomes their problem. I couldn't give a shit. I hope he does.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
I really do.
They'll have Punk.
What else?
Because they might not have Rock.
Yeah.
Punk Rock.
Sure.
They're going to have both of them make them a tag team.
Oh, my God.
Right. Phil and Dwayne.
Yeah.
Bygones. Let's take down the bloodline, brother.
Yeah. What else is on this freaking show? We have a tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. It'll be the Judgment Day going against Cody and Jey Uso.
Okay. So let me get this straight about the story. Allow me to walk through this just to make sure I understand this goddamn Jey Uso story. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he quits WWE, right? Okay. And then he disappears for a couple of weeks. And then Cody Rhodes shows up on the Payback show on the Grayson Waller stuff. I love Grayson Waller, by the way. I'm a big Grayson Waller guy. And he cuts a promo and he says, I cashed in some political favors. But here is the newest member of the Raw roster, Jey Uso. And Jey Uso comes out, and everyone's doing this.
Yeah, and people are pumped. People are pumped for Jey Uso.
And people are happy because for some reason the brand split still exists in the minds of adults. And so and Cody got completely worked, right? Because if he cashed in his political chips to get Jey on Raw, boy oh boy, have I got a deal for him? I've got some Global Force gold that he might be interested in, if you see what I mean. So Jey ends up on Raw. And people are insecure. They're not quite sure. They're getting some pushback.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We've got Matt Riddle on the roster, but Jey Uso, though, we're not quite sure about this guy hanging around here. And so the Judgment Day sort of see this, right? Because they're a cult, right? So they see people at their weakest, most vulnerable, and they swoop in and they're like, hey, come join us. We have the turkey nights on Sundays or whatever. And then, he refuses. The Judgment Day attack him, and then Cody comes because Cody is like, look, I've got to prove that I'm not a schmuck here.
I brought you here. I need to make sure this is good.
I got to make sure my investment is okay, because if this
his
guy
ROI.
my own ROI on my political stuff. So we've got two singles guys, one guy who was in a tag team, whose tag team they just broke up to go throw him into another tag team with another singles guy, going after the tag team titles from a group who are in their own bloodline thing, right? Where Damian and Finn aren't quite. It's so because of the fucking briefcase gimmick. And then so then they're all gonna fight, and then we're wondering, is Jey Uso gonna turn on Cody because he's been suspicious? Because everything in WWE is suspicious. Have you noticed every angle is suspicious? Listen, look, we talked about it. Is Santos Escobar gonna turn? Because he might not be friends with Rey anymore. And then we had the whole thing with the Street Profits, where you have to prove yourself. I don't know if I can trust you guys. What is the bloodline all about? What has it been for the past 3 years? I can't trust this guy. You have to prove yourself. You have to be an ooze. Judgment Day is the same thing. It's the same thing in Damage Control too, with Bailey and Io Shirai. Like, it's the same angle everywhere in every part of this company and in every program on this show.
You can't trust anyone, Roar. You can't trust anyone these days.
You're friends, but you're not really friends. It's baffling to. It is legitimately the bloodline everywhere. They have one good thing. Yeah, the Mean Streets.
I used to remember the Mean Street Posse.
Mean Street Posse,
baby.
Love
the Mean Street
Pete
Posse,
Abs,
dude.
Joey Gas. No, Joey Abs? No, Pete Gas. It was Pete Gas and
Joey Abs.
And Rodney. Rodney was such a schmuck. He didn't get a nickname. He was just Rodney.
Just Rodney.
Stay over there, Rodney.
Could have called him A-Rod or anything. No,
just
Rodney.
no nickname. Pete Gas, Joey Abs.
But am I getting this
Rodney.
right? Is this what the angle is? Is this the thing? Is this how the...
I don't understand the Cody Jey Uso thing. Like, if you have political chips, why wouldn't you use them for another title shot or anything that? Again, look at.
Wait, say that again.
Because
if you had political chips, why wouldn't you use them for a title shot?
What? No. Why would you ever? Oh.
I have said it with you, on every show I've ever gone on, that time and time again, the biggest problem that I ever had with the bloodline was that only the bloodline cared about the bloodline. No one on the entire roster for months, no singles guy would even talk about the Universal Championship. I want to be the Universal Champion. Why is Roman always the guy? Why is Roman never on the shows? I want to be the champion. You had a friggin' briefcase holder that went and fucking cashed it in on... What did he cash it in on?
Title.
The U.S. title. Would never been done before, and then failed at it and on an open challenge. Yeah. Okay?
Hey,
he cashed it in on an open challenge.
Drew. Yeah. It's part of
and then...
I got Austin Theory his newfound attitude, bro.
Not only does no one care about being Universal Champion on the roster, the guy who books the shows on TV, Mr. Adam Pearce, doesn't give anyone in the bloodline any consequences for any of their actions for 3 straight years in title matches.
Yeah, because he knew that if he did, because Roman and Paul Heyman
fuck him up.
Yeah, they said we run this show. You want to you piss us off, you're dead. It was very much that type of.
You're dead.
Listen,
I don't ever remember them threatening Adam Pearce's life.
No, I don't know what's going on with Cody and Jay. Some of the stuff revolving around the other people not trusting, like the promo that they did a couple weeks ago with Sammy, KO, and Cody in the ring. I thought that was good. I thought Kevin Owens was excellent in that promo, basically being like, I trust you guys, so I'm going to trust you, but I just hope you're right, because I don't, and like Drew McIntyre is clearly turning heel because of this. And I think, him and Cody, he's mentioning Cody by name, making fun of Cody, taking digs at Cody, like he's going to turn heel and go
like
after Cody.
Most of Twitter then.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just like
So
most of Twitter. Okay.
I don't know. But
that'll probably take up Cody's time until WrestleMania next year.
Until the Rumble.
When he
wins the Rumble again,
supposed
probably.
to,
And then, however
We'll
they do it. Do we think, though, are the Judgment Day retaining here?
Yeah.
I can't see Cody and Jay winning the titles unless the Finn Balor and Damian Priest thing actually explodes.
What other tag teams are there? Like, who cares?
It's true. It's true.
Like, I'm just gonna who like isn't the Viking out, the Ivar or the Eric? I don't remember which one.
Eric is out. Ivar, they've just been throwing on Raw, having killer matches week after week now. Just killer matches he's having. The match him and Kofi had, that was a good one.
Okay. But look, there's no more tag teams.
Well, here you go. Misfit in the chat thinks that McIntyre is going to end up screwing Cody over in this match. He thinks that's how that goes. I do agree. I do like what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. I would like to see. I want him to return as a heel.
Is he finally going to use his sword? Is he finally going to use his sword?
I don't know.
Speaking of
if you're gonna bring it,
swords,
use it.
they had somebody in NXT in the breakout tournament, one of the ladies, that she has a sword as part of her gimmick. And I was like, you're never going to use that thing. Why do you have it?
Who is it? Who is it?
I
Is it
can't
Laura
remember.
Valkyria?
No, it was one of the breakout. It's one of the newer talents. I'm not
She's
sure.
not okay. She's not in the tournament.
She's in the tournament.
It's the breakout tournament,
but it's like all these like level up people.
Okay, so all right.
But she's like holding her sword, and she's like, a black belt. And I was like, Drew never used his sword except to cut that rope awkwardly at WrestleMania, and you're never going to use yours. Why do you can't get that through customs anyway and security checkpoints? So stop.
Such a pain.
For some reason, WWE thinks really sharp, pointy objects.
Yeah, maybe
baby
I'm wrong, but I don't think a sword has ever been useful as a gimmick in wrestling ever. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing somebody important. Yeah, exactly. Think about it. When's the last time you had a wrestler who's like, oh, that guy has a sword? Kick ass. Awesome. Sure. Doesn't happen.
We have a triple threat. This will probably be the best. I think this will probably be the best match of the night. It's a triple threat for the WWE Women's Championship. It's Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte.
I hit something in my rant
Flair.
and gave myself a hangnail.
There you go.
Injuring myself for the team.
There you go. I think, this on paper looks like it could be the best match of the night for me.
It depends if Charlotte is. It depends on Charlotte's mood. It really depends on Charlotte.
Yeah, if A game Charlotte shows up, this will be the match of the night.
It'll be fine.
Are you saying if she knows she's winning it? Just joking.
Oh boy.
Picture this though. Charlotte Flair wins the title. Jade Cargill comes out.
I'm here for that. I'm here
okay
for that.
I'm okay
That's
with that.
the thing, right? That's got to be the thing. Because they're not going to run Bianca and Jade, right? They're not going to run. They're not going to run. They're not going to run Io and Jade. Jesus Christ, Io will run circles around her. They're not going to do that, right? They're going to have to. Keep in mind, in the minds of WWE booking, Charlotte is the John Cena of the women's division. She's the queen. They don't call her the queen to be cute. She is the woman, right? She's the one. She's the chosen one. So if they're bringing in Jade and they want her to face off against a tremendous superstar like their top woman, that's their top woman. It's not Becky. It's not Bianca. Sorry to say. It's not Io. It's Charlotte Flair.
And she has to win.
I think that's how it goes. She's going to win. Yeah, she'll win.
So, and Charlotte can take that out. Yeah,
they'll pin Asuka because Bianca Bailey will probably do.
No, I meant Jade would have to win Charlotte. In my opinion, you have to beat her.
But don't you know about WWE?
She needs to go through adversity first before she starts winning some shit.
She's got to finish her story.
Yeah, she has to quit, go start another company, come back, lose for a year and a half, and then you can have enough adversity to become a champion in WWE.
You got to pay your dues.
You got to pay your dues. Staying in the company and working for the company for a decade and having to ask for his release is not paying dues, but
No, but listen, how much has Cody have been helping the ring crew taking the ring down?
Yeah,
honestly,
not enough.
right?
Apparently not enough.
Is he carrying the veterans' bags in the back?
What, Roman, they're having the pre-show, the pre-match meeting, you know, with Pierce and Triple H and who the fuck else, you know, the producers, and Roman's like, you know, I'd gladly drop to Cody, but haven't seen you around with the ring crew much, and you've been here not even a full year yet, Codes.
You remember, Cody, what happened to Leo Rush when he refused to carry bags? You better pick them shits up, buddy.
Do you want to be a Leo Rush, Cody?
Oh, God. All right, and then the main event.
Oh, shoot.
Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, last man standing.
Did we talk about all the matches already?
Yeah,
I mean, barely, yeah. This is the last match of the 5.
And this storyline makes no sense, but the match is going to rule.
Yeah, this match will be fun. This match will be good. I would love them to put it on Nakamura, but I don't think that they care enough.
I'm challenging you on this one.
Last man standings can be cogs, though. They can be cogs of matches sometimes.
Because their payback match was kind of dull. And Shinsuke in main events in WWE it's kind of dull.
Well, Misfit says, he goes, it ain't main event. They might main event the Bloodline and Cena in LA Knight. They very much could main event that. They've done it before with the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
that could be the main event. That is true. But this is the only match for.
But then again, John Cena generally he been curtain jerking recently so that he can get the hell out because he's got other shit to do.
Curtain jerking. Speaking of curtain jerking, a wonderful new show over here on Love Wrestling. You can find them on our YouTube Shorts right now.
There you go. Boom. Company man. I would love Nakamura to win the title because he hasn't obviously there.
Why? Why?
Just to,
Joseph,
I'm challenging this.
I'm
challenging this because I do not understand.
I do know the booking. I just don't agree with it. So I try to put it in the earth that they'll change it. But I don't know what we know.
I want Nakamura to win the first match and just give him the belt. Because I like Nakamura. I want him to do.
Why? What has Shinsuke done for you recently, JPJ?
Nothing.
He's washed. He's a shell of his former self. He's off of a he all he is living off of a name at this point. Like he hasn't done anything of value booking wise, and when they have been giving him matches, they're fucking snooze fests. What are we doing? Why would you give this to Shinsuke? Keep it on Rollins. At least people sing along to his fucking theme song for 60 minutes.
I know. I just like Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm sorry.
I like Shinsuke.
I want to go around.
Shinsuke. But the problem is that he has been so washed since the AJ Style run in 2019. Joe. His best match that he's had recently was in fucking Pro Wrestling Noah at the start of the year against the 70-year-old man. Joe!
I know.
I gotta go around asking people, what's Shinsuke done for you lately?
Exactly. Oh, that's good. That's good.
No, but all joking aside,
no, it's good.
I don't understand, but I legitimately do not understand what people are still clasping on to when it comes to Shinsuke, because I feel we have had this conversation 2-3 times in the past where it's like, it's time to belt up Shinsuke. It's time to do something with him. And then they try, but Shinsuke doesn't seem to care either. Shinsuke seems completely content with cashing in his big, fat corporate paycheck and just phoning it in. He doesn't have to wrestle like he used to against Shibata and Tanahashi. He doesn't have to do that shit anymore. So he's using the Muto technique. He just comes in, he collects his check, hits the pay window. You know, that's it. That's all. I don't know why people are still clasped onto this idea that Shinsuke is going to be this great champion when in fact there is nothing in the past 4 to 5 years that shows us that Shinsuke Nakamura will be an exciting main eventer for the company.
It's fair. It's a fair point. I still want to win.
And that was your WWE Fastlane preview.
I still want him to win. But
all right. All right. How about we do this?
Yeah,
we'll settle it down.
Are we going to show?
We gotta pay our bills in the sense that Rich King has been kind enough every week to give us his NFL pick of the week. So we'll reset there. We'll come back. We'll talk
Talking
AEW, WrestleDream,
AEW.
some
Drew is
wrestling.
here, Warren is here. We're all here.
But we'll
for the next
reset,
couple
boys.
minutes, let's listen to Rich King as he gives his rad picks of the week in week 5 of the NFL.
It is that time once again, everybody, for Rich's Rad Team of the Week. My name is Rich King. I represent one of the greatest groups in all of professional wrestling. It is the R to the A to the D to the tiny little Z, the Rads, touching tips, shaking hips, and winning championships. Larry, you can find us on Tales from the Undercard on YouTube, and make sure you follow all of our shenanigans on there. But today I'm here to talk about the NFL. Week number 5 is upon us, and hopefully this show makes the main show of Between Two Beards, because boys, where was I last week? I digress, though. Let's jump into some matchups that caught my eye. Number 1 is actually going to be Philadelphia versus LA. Philadelphia is still trying to find themselves to a degree, and LA is punching up their weight class. They're looking fantastic. I think this could be a great game, fun watch, but again, I think Philadelphia is probably going to eke it out from the Rams. Game number 2 is obviously the game of the week. It's going to be the best one on the schedule for a little bit, and this is the 49ers versus the Cowboys. I think this is going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a great game to sit back, relax, and watch. 49ers get it done, but the Cowboys make it a contest. Now, a game I want you to keep an eye on for a potential underdog upset is actually Arizona versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati is looking horrendous. Joe Burrow cannot throw the ball. He cannot move. That calf is destroying him. And the Arizona Cardinals have a great defense this year. Who would have thought? Not to mention the offense has been looking pretty damn good with Josh Dobbs. So, keep an eye on that game for a potential upset. But Rich's Rad Team of the Week. Oh boy, it makes me so happy to pick this team. It is the home of WrestleMania 17, the hometown of the five-time champion, Booker T, which is fitting for week number 5. It is the Houston Texans. I never thought I'd make this team my team of the week, but here we are going up against Atlanta, playing as the underdogs. Houston has been playing lights out for the first 3 weeks. Yes, there's been some stumbling blocks. They are a young team. They're going to have a lot of hurdles, but CJ Stroud is looking pretty great. He hasn't even thrown an interception yet. The wide receivers are playing up to snuff, and the defense absolutely trounced the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. So, Rich's Rad Team of the Week to go 3-2 on week number 5 is the Houston Texans. Boys, let me know how you like these picks.
Heck yeah. Heck
We
yeah.
lost Warren. He's gone.
Warren's here.
So,
Warren-
fact, I was happy to look at that.
Oh.
We're talking old school. As AJ Styles take it out, Shinsuke Nakamura. Boom. But yes, that was Rich King with his Rad Team of the Week, baby.
I love it. I love the Houston Texans pick. That was one of the teams I bet. I bet the over on them. Like actually put money on it and bet the over was.
I just traded CJ
5.5,
Stroud for
so
Justin Herbert.
So they need 6 wins. I think they already have 2 or 3. Like I'm in. I'm in. Better than my Patriots, who are dog shit. But now that we were talking about the NFL, when we do start talking about AEW here in a moment, Dick Butkus passed away today. He passed away like an hour before we went live. And that is like an all-time linebacker for the Chicago Bears. Pluggo, I know you're a Cubs fan, but were you never a Chicago Bears fan growing up, being so close
I was
to Chicago
not,
and
but I am
liking
so
other Chicago sports teams?
But I am so close to it that I have a bunch of people in my life that are Bears fans, so I know enough about it. So yeah, Dick Butkus is huge around here. Big deal. Yeah. Huge guy.
Passed away
legend.
earlier.
Passed away. So RIP to the legend.
Actor, linebacker.
No, I was never a Bears fan, and thank God, because that is torture. It's torture.
Even though I think they're winning right now currently. But oddly enough, on the day that Dick Butkus dies, the Bears are scheduled. They're playing the Thursday night game tonight. So a little bit more probably juice for that franchise to play for, to kind of honor one of their veterans and classic all-time players. All right.
Oh, and just a heads up, there is ROH tonight. over on our Twitch channel. So whenever we're finished up here, they start a little bit after 10. Head
Yep.
over there, hang out with Kyle Sparks. He's got Kylie. No Robert Kylie. He's got special guest Kimmy. I'm sorry. No Robert Kylie tonight, but Kimmy will be joining Kyle. So do that.
Beauty. So they'll be
over on
talking
our
Ring of
Twitch.
Honor like Pluggo said. They usually start a little bit after 10. So, but this past Sunday evening, we had an AEW pay-per-view. That pay-per-view was WrestleDream. All in all, I guess I'll get everybody's just general opinion of the pay-per-view. But all in all, how did we feel about WrestleDream this past Sunday? I would make an argument that All Out, the previous pay-per-view, was one of the better, if not one of the best pay-per-views that AEW has ever put on. I thought WrestleDream was also very, very good. Also excellent. There were some standout matches on this card. Swerve and Hangman, amazing. Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., amazing. I thought the main
one
event was
freaking
also
arm,
spectacular as well. But all in all, Drew, I'll ask you first because you came on. You're the newest.
Please, yes, let him talk.
Guest of the show.
He's holding back. Are you holding back, Warren?
No. Like, please. I feel like I've done my part so far.
Yeah. How did we feel about WrestleDream? How did you dig the show?
It was, I think, their best pay-per-view of the year, honestly.
Really?
Are you snacking on some candy there, Drew?
No, I'm not eating candy.
Drew's like, I just got home from work. My job down here. I need sustenance. That a Cliff Bar?
Yeah, it was.
Peanut butter?
Fuck yeah, Cliff
I love
Bars
Cliff Bars.
rule.
I love Cliff Bar. One of my favorite snacks.
Another $1 in the swear jar, Warren.
No, we're past. We're an hour and a half into this thing. We can do whatever.
Fucking A, we are.
Is it peanut butter? Crunchy peanut butter? Hell yeah! Way to go.
My favorite.
All right, WrestleDream. You think it was
Chip
the
for a
best
second.
pay-per-view of AEW of the year?
It was. Honestly, I feel okay saying that. I do. In my opinion, I feel like it was. I feel like it was. I mean, I'm looking at like how many matches there were. Holy shit, there were a lot of matches, and I didn't even remember there being this many matches.
It was
What?
14, right? Was the total?
Yeah, they had 4 on the pre-show, or
They had 4 on the
14.
pre-show.
yeah, I believe so.
I didn't watch the pre-show, so okay. I'll have to circle back.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the pre-show. Well, I didn't watch all of the pre-show, and then I got stuck on a work call.
So
when the
let me get
first
this
match
right.
started.
14 matches, 4+ hours of wrestling, 1 women's match. Come on. Be better. Be
Yeah.
better.
I would say, if anything on the pre-show, I would watch Claudio and Josh Barnett. I thought that was good, and then afterwards, Barnett put Claudio over hard.
I can never tell when Warren starts laughing, especially when JPJ makes a point. I can never tell if Warren's like this
Usually he's trying to come after
motherfucker,
me.
or he's like, or he's like, no, that's great.
I thought that was the
match
best
was
match of the
hilarious.
pre-show. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was everything.
The match was hilarious because Josh Barnett taking the big swing is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And he absolutely refused to take the neutralizer, which was tremendous. Did you guys see how he took it? He landed on all fours. You're supposed to land, flat face. He just landed on. He was like, "No, motherfucker, I'm not doing it. Excuse me, I'm not taking." Jesus.
At this point, fuck it.
No, it was tremendous. And then he goes into business for himself in the promo afterwards, trying to book himself a rematch with Claudio.
Literally, that's what it was. He just grabbed the mic and was like, "Yeah,
fantastic stuff
happening again."
Some surprises happened on the show that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting the Young Bucks to win.
Okay,
You didn't think they were just going to lay up FDR and Bucks?
I
in the forum, we had SP3 on last week, and he was like, "It's in LA. It's a big show. FTR the Bucks."
I thought that actually I didn't think about that. Now that if I had thought about that, I probably would have made Young Bucks. I would have predicted the Young Bucks to win. But on Firmly, when we were going down the card, I remember I said what I thought was going to happen was that, and I guess it's good that it didn't happen now that he got injured. But I thought that Aussie Open were going to beat FTR, which would have meant that we would need like a babyface tag team, not the Bucks, because my original thought was that the Bucks and Hangman were going to join in with the Bucks and Kenny. Sorry, we're going to join in with Hangman on the Swerve and in that whole feud with Mogul Embassy. Honorary member of Mogul Embassy right here, and I will say it every time. Sorry. Yes, as Misfit said, I thought Orange Cassidy and Hook were going to win. They were my pick to face Aussie Open at maybe the next pay-per-view or whenever, maybe Title Tuesday or something. Because I thought that the Elite and Mogul Embassy were going to be involved, but it doesn't seem like that's happening because everyone's gone in a different direction still. So that's fine. Those are the surprises that I had. I figured Ricky Starks was going to win, and that was a really good match. I feel like that was one of Wheeler's best matches, honestly, was against Ricky. Chris Statlander and Julia Hart ruled.
Yep, I liked it.
Over delivered.
Yep, big time.
Oh
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
only when the roads are free do I swerve. I drive. I don't do that, in traffic.
Yeah. Swerve and Hangman was special. That was main event.
JPJ, if you're not doing it, and then for all this is how
exactly.
I can't do it anymore. I have a hernia.
There you go.
Do you legit have? Is that a shoot or a work, brother?
I have a hernia in my neck, but it was nonetheless a joke.
Yeah. Would we? Yeah. I mean, I feel like I picked the Bucks to win. I thought the Bucks were going to win. I think the Bucks should beat FTR for those titles in LA, and then the Bucks should be tag team champions for a bit here.
For 2 years.
Okay.
I am so sick of this point of FTR and their legacy. The legacy of FTR. Like, they had a tremendous banner year last year. Like, that was their legacy year. And now they're they collecting titles, the triumvirate with the Briscoes, and in hindsight, you couldn't have wanted a better way for the Briscoes to unfortunately end their tag team career. Like, just tremendous stuff. And they're still going around this year. Our legacy. If there's anyone who needs to protect their legacy on a main stage, it's the Young Bucks. And I will carry this until it actually happens. I've been talking about this for months at this point. The Young Bucks, too cool, too nice, putting everyone over in the company. Started, lost the private party. They did the tournament gimmick and they were knocked out by private party. They've been too chill with everyone because, that's their company. You don't want to come across as we want to put ourselves over, so on and so forth. And they've been putting everyone over. They've been letting FTR run rampant because, the fans online, right? All this stuff. Enough. All right? I know the Young Bucks have had this tremendous belt run. What it was, 2014, 2015, and in those parts where they were doing the belt collector thing. But they never done it on a main stage. And this is where we're at. This is where the Young Bucks have to solidify their own legacy as the greatest tag team of the 2010s, probably the best tag team of the past 20 years, and establish themselves as true beasts in that regard, and revitalize at the same time this tag team division in AEW, of which I was promised was going to be one of the main attractions of this company, which in fairness was for a while, but over a few, I'd say better part of 18 months or so, not much going on there. It's kind of slim pickings, kind of. We need the Bucks back. We need the Bucks at their top form, doing what they do best, going off to other promotions and winning their titles and bring them back on AEW, just covered, dripping in gold, because this is where they're at in their career. That's what... That's what we need at this point, and that's what they deserve, honestly. It's their house, it's their sandbox, and they've let all the kids play with all the toys and build their own little forts Now it's time for the Bucks, for the Jacksons, to build their own super extraordinary, invincible sandcastle. It's their turn.
Isn't that interesting? Like we talked, because when they started AEW, the reason AEW became to be is because they didn't give a shit what anybody thought, and they were doing their thing, and that's what made them so successful. And then they get there and they're like, I don't want to be the guy that puts myself over. It's like, but you're the Young Bucks. Do it. I agree. I want to see that run. I think they should. I mean, they got a good thing going with MJF right now, but eventually I'd like to see Kenny get back to the prominent role. That the reason this company was where it was. I want to see it. I'm with you, Young Bucks, man. Let's go.
I think one of our guests would disagree with you saying that they got a good thing going on with MJF right now, because Warren
doesn't like it, but I like it.
He don't.
I
like
could do without the ROH stuff. I did think that was a little. I was like the poor Righteous. I didn't like that. I didn't like how they did him. I didn't.
I haven't.
I'm gonna be honest, but I like what they've done with MJF overall.
Now, okay.
Warren's gonna yell at me now, and that's okay.
Yeah, now it's your turn, Pluggo. You son of a bitch. No, Warren. I have not watched your AEW Dynamite review yet. I usually do that Thursdays after the show before I go to bed or on their drive on Friday. But
Good time to do it.
I know you have not liked the vignettes that they do.
No,
the matches, some of the matches, not all, because I know you haven't liked a few of the matches either. But the matches you've been okay with for the most part, but the vignettes and kind of the hokey shit you have kind of been like, not for me. So how did you feel about watching a vignette so nice we saw it twice last night?
Are you not sports entertained?
I'm anxiously awaiting you screaming at me on your review for 5 minutes about it. But I figured before I watch that, I would ask you while we have you here live.
Listen, if you want the full thoughts, youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes, and go check that out. It's the AEW Dynamite review popped up today. I'll tell you this. There is nothing funnier in my headcanon right now than seeing Tony Khan at Gorilla and cues in that stupid vignette. Dumb, unfunny, ridiculous, dumb, bozo level vignette. And he's cueing it in. And there's no audio.
No audio.
And the production people are like, there's no audio coming in. And he's going, and they're trying to fix it. No one can fix it. And then Tony Khan, again, in my headcanon, picks up his phone, calls David Zaslav, and says, we need an overrun because, why do we need an overrun, Mr. Zaslav? I'll tell you why. Because I can't cut anything out of my show, and we had some significant technical difficulties on this very important bit of storytelling. Excuse me, Mr. Zaslav, you're asking me, what is this important bit of... Well, you see, I have two of my wrestlers, injured wrestlers, doing races on scooters and wheelchairs in a kitchen, and this absolutely has to be aired, sir. We need the overrun, sir. I'm not cutting anything out, and I cannot let this pass, sir. There's a giraffe, sir. There's a giraffe, Mr. Zaslav. We have to get the overrun. Thank you, Mr. Zaslav. You saved the show. You saved AEW by allowing me to produce this gimmick and put it on television so that people can get just how all-encompassing and important this is. I could not have just thrown this up on YouTube. I could not have just told people to go see this on YouTube. Sir, you understand how this works? Thank you so much. Yes, we'll talk soon. I'm sorry about CM Punk. I know you liked him. Goodbye.
You guys are welcome.
Man, if that's how you felt now, I gotta watch the Dynamite review.
Yeah. You should be watching. Everyone should be watching the Dynamite review every week. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. You're welcome. Everyone
Spencer,
in the chat,
we need to get Ward a support plant.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that. I assume
Big Ben Ortmans is in the house. Stop the presses. Big Ben, we love you, brother. Congratulations on the biggest show in Crossbody Pro history and the Prime sponsorship. You absolute stud. You massive hog carrying human being. All right, continue.
There it is. All right, that was good stuff.
Are you okay, Warren? Your face is as red.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Nice.
Your face
Yeah,
looks
well,
like your bill of your hat. Drew,
Like
how do you
was wondering.
feel about following that?
I was trying to hit different levels of the Brock Lesnar scale, of the whole face.
I will say though. Oh, go ahead, Drew. Go.
I actually only saw the main event of Dynamite last night. I haven't seen the show yet.
The main event was tremendous. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's tremendous stuff.
We were talking a little bit earlier of it. I thought Dynamite in general, it wasn't bad, but I thought it wasn't what I was expecting after WrestleDream. I was expecting more of a punch. From him. But you only saw the main event. That was one of the parts to see of the main event.
Ben says he hopes you don't have a stroke, Warren.
It's my long-term storytelling. It's going to happen.
Before we dive into the Dynamite stuff, to cap off the WrestleDream real quick, was there anything else that we kind of went down a whole tangent there?
Swerve and Hangman.
I mean, the main event of WrestleDream, Swerve and Hangman ruled.
Have we not even mentioned Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, we did it with one freaking arm, too. Imagine 100% Danielson. Though.
No, we didn't really talk about it that much, though. But
Mox on commentary was life.
Oh my God, Mox on commentary was all of us. He was all of us. When they would show him and he would just be leaning in the chair with like the leg up, like that, I was like, "That's me on my couch." That's literally all. And then just when the match ended, he just goes, "Holy shit!" Just stands up. Holy shit! Oh, and he just starts clapping. I was like, "Yeah," like literally, it was him on commentary was amazing. And if he's still not although he's wrestling on Tuesday, he's going to win his title back on Title Tuesday, I would assume. But Moxley on commentary, that was social media obviously was going crazy about it, but that was just wonderful. What a add to the matches that.
I really like Nigel being like, Zack Sabre Jr. still the most technical wrestler in the world because Danielson won with the strike.
But Danielson on the press conferences after was, hey, I won, but I don't feel.
Oh, we're gonna get it again. I don't feel accomplished.
Yes,
let's get it again.
Yes. Very much leading to it again. Probably maybe at Wrestle Kingdom. We think maybe over in the Tokyo Dome, or do we think they save it for AEW? Or
what is Tony going to give something back to our old pal Gato now?
I was going to say, their people come over here and wrestle at
Gato's been really chill.
Yeah,
he's been very good, giving us Ospreay Omega 2, giving us Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., Danielson and Okada. And I'm pretty sure Gato's like, hey, no, I'm not going to do a bit. But
the giraffes, we need giraffes.
Send me the guy with the giraffes. That's what we need here. Let's make Antonio Inoki proud.
Wrestle Kingdom, we're going to get a scooter race.
I wouldn't be surprised in the least that because Zach has Ospreay next at Royal Quest 3 in a couple of weeks. That's his next big destination. And between then and there, there's Full Gear, but I'm trying to think of there's no other big shows. There's Royal Quest, there's Full Gear, and unless AEW pulls another pay-per-view out of their hat, that'll be it for them. Then we get to January 4th for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that would be nice because I definitely
drive some subs with the new and refreshed New Japan World that will have an application as well.
It's going to have an app finally.
They announced this in November. They're rolling all of this out in November. They're going to do all the stress tests in November to be ready for January 1st.
Oh, I like that a lot. I've been the whole time I've been like, how is there not an app? How is there not an app for this thing? But regardless.
And the funny thing is, the funny thing is that Bushiroad then this year showed a deficit, like they lost some money, and it's like, well, where did we lose our money? Oh, in our mobile business, in our mobile application business, and so then you're like, then next thing you hear, oh, New Japan World's finally getting an application. Like, interesting.
I wonder how that happened.
Yeah.
But I thought, and Misfit said it. I thought that, and obviously Daniel Bryan, we knew had a broken arm the last 10 or 11 minutes. Oh, what did I say?
You did it this time.
I did. It's usually Pluggo that does it. Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. Thank you, Warren.
Way to go,
Uh,
JPJ.
I thought Bryan Danielson, he clearly had a broken arm, as we know, the last 10, 12 minutes of that match with Okada. But I thought this match I enjoyed more than
Me too.
the Danielson and Okada match.
This was tremendous. It was just a fantastic match. No notes. It was incredible. And well, that's not true. There is notes. Zack Sabre Jr. is having if you listen to the Mr. Warren Hayes show, you've heard me talk about this. He's been having a tremendous year, regardless. And the latter part of 2023 right now is just mind-boggling. He's an absolute legitimate discussion contender guy for Wrestler of the Year. He has been phenomenal. He's created the New Japan World Title with its 15-minute time limit, and like he's created the baseline upon which this title is going to be defended in the future, because he's not going to keep it forever. And on top of that, he's just having phenomenal matches with everyone, everywhere. He's wrestling everywhere. I
love
it. He's
he
having
wrestled Nick
such
Gage
a
earlier
banner
this year and got a good match out of him.
Who?
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
He got a good match out of Nick Gage.
He got a decent match because Vikingo and Nick Gage didn't go so well, but
Nick is who he is, and
yeah. Oh yeah,
Nick's who he is now. That's fine.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, he dude could wrestle a broom.
Oh my god, Drew, talk to me about Hangman and Swerve here, because this was and I know Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. was special, but for me, this was my favorite match of the night. Was Hangman and Swerve. These are two, if not my two favorite dudes in AEW. Hangman has always kind of been my top guy in AEW, who I've like kind of clung to as my dude. And Swerve, the second WWE released him, I was like, what the hell are you doing? And then the second AEW got him, I was like, here we go. And it took a little bit of time, but it feels like this was the win that should propel Swerve to kind of be in the main level, should be going for world championships soon. You telling me? I would love an MJF Swerve program at some point, but I just thought this match was main event quality.
Absolutely.
It was so good. And yeah, talk to me about how you enjoyed it. I think we talked about it on Sunday on Firmly. We both said Swerve needed to win that match, and he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it looked at some points, it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And I bought into a couple of those near falls, honestly. And then when the Hangman's getting checked out by the doctors, and Swerve's like, nah, I don't give a shit about that. I'm attacking you.
Yep.
That was some good shit. That's that excellent heel work that he has. And God, it's just firing on all cylinders after this win. Like he's supposed to be facing Bryan Danielson
on
next
Tuesday.
week.
Yeah.
Which is that's to go for.
And he should win.
He should win. He should beat Bryan. I don't know
he
if he
should.
will.
But now Bryan's coming off of a win streak right now, so I just don't know if that's gonna happen. But man, what a statement it would make for him to win against Bryan. That would be just incredible.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, I feel like I would have made this match of the night had the main event not been the main event.
We're going to talk about that next, because that was also very special.
That was just a special moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so happy that Swerve got that win. He really, really, like we said, firmly deserved it, needed it, and he got it. And that was very, very awesome.
Yeah. It was just
Wait, something happened in the main event of WrestleDream?
Yeah. Darby Allin took one of the gnarliest bumps I've ever seen on those steps.
Oh.
I've ever seen. I was like, his arm is broken. Something is broken. That was disgusting.
His body's broken.
Oh.
I really love.
Go ahead, Drew.
I really loved the story that they told before the big thing at the end. The Darby won by out wrestling him within the first 6 minutes of the match, and then Christian's like, I gotta fucking murder this kid.
Yeah.
And even that wasn't enough, really, because he got to get a cheap count out to get the first fall for him.
Even it up, yeah.
Even it up. And then he couldn't even pin him to get the victory.
No.
He had to have help.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And it was Nick Wayne. I
Well,
loved that. I loved that.
If
I
you
was
watched Firmly AEW on Sunday, I called it. You
did.
Not that I'm the only one in the world that did. Like, let's be real. But I was like, I think Christian's winning because Nick Wayne's going to turn. And then I said, and then the debut that everyone was expecting would happen. And it did happen, as we saw Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge. I'm not going to call him Edge. But Adam Copeland showed up, and they had that moment face-to-face with him and Christian, and the crowd was chanting, holy shit, just like they did last night at the end of Dynamite. And they gave him the chair, and it looked like he was going to give Darby the concerto and put him out of his misery, and nope. Adam Copeland hits Luchasaurus. He hits Nick Wayne.
Sting.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was Sting. That's right. Yeah, because I forgot Sting came down and saved Darby. It was for Sting. Even worse. And he was going to give the concerto to Sting. He ends up attacking Nick Wayne, Luchasaurus, and Christian kind of skirts out before getting physical, just kind of runs away. And that's how the show ended, with a fantastic main event in which Christian kind of just continues to solidify himself as the best. Is he the best heel in AEW currently? He has to be, right?
I mean, the heat.
He's just incredible what he's doing right now.
He's not getting Dominic Mysterio heat.
Oh boy!
Hey, could someone kick this guy?
I was hoping for a reaction. Can I say this? Can I ask you guys this?
It's your show. What are you talking about?
Logical. I don't know. I'm a gentleman.
It's your show, man. What the hell? Yeah.
I'm a gentleman. It's my show, but is it my show? I don't know. It's our show. I don't know whose show this is. Either way, all logical booking and yada yada aside, did a small part of you guys want Edge to like team up with Christian? Because I kind of was like, that would be so crazy. Like, obviously he's not going to do it because there's more money in the babyface thing. But did you guys want a little bit, or is that just me?
I mean, it's.
No,
I don't.
Okay.
I think eventually, maybe. And I mean, with the promo on Dynamite, it seems like it will eventually happen. But the story is more now. How does Adam Copeland get Christian Cage away from the dark side and get him back to being a babyface?
Jump right in and join him.
Yeah,
and I mean, feel like
could happen down the line.
No, I meant in the moment.
If,
would that have been a bigger story?
I don't think so. I think
like,
mainly
I'm so happy to be here. Shucks.
It would have totally pushed Nick Wayne's heel turn off the cliff, and nobody would have cared about it.
Could you imagine Nick Wayne getting to hang out with Edge and Christian and just this nasty, gnarly, like, we're gonna rag on your dead dad's faction thing? Like, yeah, dude, I'm in for that.
They couldn't have brought Metalingus over if he was going to be a heel because nobody.
I just like chaos.
Yeah.
They would have had to buy his Judgment Day song for him to be a heel. Honestly,
there you go.
That god
Can't
awful
use
thing.
Metalingus on that one, no.
Yeah, and they had Beth Phoenix re-record the beginning, so that's Beth Phoenix.
That's fair. That's fair, boss man. I think we wouldn't have got the cool Dynamite thing. A small part of me was like,
and we're gonna transition from that to this.
Let's just
we
talk
get out of here in a few minutes, but. Yeah, that whole moment, like, we all knew it was coming, and then you saw the ending of the match set it up, and we all knew, and you're like, oh man. And then they do that little vignette, and then when you heard the vignette was very cool, and then when you heard that you think you know him, and it was Metalingus, it was just like, man, I was on
It
my
gave
couch.
me the
I
same
was just
feeling,
like, man,
honestly.
It's just wild.
This day.
Yeah, man, it was great.
It gave me the same feeling that it did when Cody returned at WrestleMania, because it's like, that was Cody Rhodes' AEW presentation in WWE.
Yeah,
this is Edge.
It's the Edge we've known for 25 years
in WWE.
Yeah,
in AEW. It's crazy.
And I'm not gonna lie, Kristen, I know we're talking about that line. I'd like to see Beth Phoenix come over. Why not? I like Chaos, Warren. Go give me that look.
I like
Let's move on.
Too, but listen, for me, look, I don't want them to team again. I don't know. Maybe nostalgia isn't as big a thing with me. I'm just like, give me something fresh. So I'm very happy with how things went off, and I'm very happy that Edge is there. And I'm a little more guarded when it comes to Edge and what he can do. His final WWE run, I don't think has been even close to tremendous. I don't think it hasn't done much, and it
was pretty crappy.
What's that?
It was pretty crappy, honestly.
I mean, yeah, if we're being like,
he
really
won the
honest with
Royal
ourselves.
Rumble from the #1 spot, you guys.
I know, and then he left the company that gave him that #1 spot.
Jesus, come on.
What a
No
what a
loyalty.
He's
traitor.
ruined his legacy.
What a phony.
Take away his Hall of Fame ring.
Take it away. Give it to Riddle. The
Give it to Riddle. Oh,
I don't know. I'm not as big an Edge guy as apparently most wrestling fans out there who are extremely excited. And far from me wanting to rain on anyone's parade, I'm just a little more guarded because I question bringing Edge in, what it will do business-wise for AEW, because he's not a proven draw. In fact, you can even point to his program that he did after winning the Royal Rumble sort of tanked in ratings when he was going from SmackDown to Raw to NXT to, scratching his beard, what am I going to do? What are we going to do here? And the match that they were building at WrestleMania, which was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Edge, somehow had Daniel Bryan be thrown into the mix there because it just wasn't creating the buzz that they wanted. And there's some signs from WWE at the same time that you cannot necessarily ignore when it's like, look, they didn't fight tooth and nail to keep him. They let him go. They let his trademarks lapse. You know what I mean? Like, if this was a moneymaker for them, this shit would not have happened so easily. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
stuff. I think they were like, oh, you want to go? Okay, shucks, gee willikers, best of luck to your future endeavors, etc. Right? Ta-ta, kind of thing. And by the way, we forgot to renew the trademarks on Rated R Superstar. But you didn't hear it from me, So I'm like, I understand the enthusiasm behind it, and I would be a complete liar if last night I didn't see something great from Edge, Copeland. He was tremendous. There's no notes to it. The standoff with Christian Cage, tremendous. The line, tremendous. Like, everything about it was just spectacular. So the way I'm approaching this is very simple. AEW has had a good track record bringing in older guys into the company, and these older guys finding, I don't know what you want to call it, the spark, the creative freedom, whatever you want to call it, to do what they feel like doing, and just letting them go. And then these people having career renaissances. Christian is one of them. Sting is another very good example, right? So maybe I'm excited to see what an unfettered Edge can do, right? And he's in an environment that seems to foster this. So I'm staying guarded, but I'm not outright shutting this down and saying, well, this is nonsense. But there's too many red flags for me to just be like, yeah, Edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that what we've seen so far is tremendous.
Yeah. The thing is true is that you mentioned the creative freedom, and the biggest thing that he had said both in the media scrum, in the video that came out that AEW posted a few days ago after WrestleDream was off the air, the biggest thing is that he feels free right now. And the fact that Adam Copeland, Edge, from 1998 up until this point in 2023, felt that jumping to pretty much still an upstart company. I mean, it's been 4 years as of yesterday. They're not, Impact old. They're not WWE old. They're not New Japan old. They're brand new still. They're still working out the kinks. They're still doing all of these things that are questionable sometimes. And you go, oh, well, maybe they shouldn't have made that decision. Because they're learning, they're building, and I think it's working out for them so far. And I think that for this guy, this veteran, a true veteran of the wrestling business, to see AEW and go, that's where I want to go. I think that makes it special. And to see his excitement for it, the way he was describing filming that vignette was like a kid in a candy store. I don't think a smile left his face for the entire media scrum.
Well, until he got told to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's, to be him and to leave WWE and then go, so Tony, I want to get a car and I want to film this car driving around Seattle and I want to get out of the car and I want Metalingus to play. And Tony goes, yep. Here you go. Here's the camera crew. Darby will let you know where to go. Here's the thing you want to do it. To have full creative freedom over your debut in a company is just wild, honestly. I don't know if AJ Styles would have been like, hey, keep the camera on Roman Reigns for my entire entrance before I do the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have been his creative direction.
Yeah. Or if Edge, Adam Copeland, Edge goes to Tony, he goes, hey, when I hit my first spear, make sure we're showing the crowd.
Yeah.
But like something like that. But I mean, it was really good. And the audio sucked at the beginning of Dynamite, Drew. But there was a segment in the back at the beginning of Dynamite where Adam Copeland, they were interviewing Jericho and Omega, who were having a match later on in the evening. And Adam Copeland shows up. I'm going to call him Edge 1,000 times. I should just keep calling him Edge, but whatever. Copeland shows up and he kind of says something to Jericho. And hey, it's a long time no see. Always good to see you, pal. He says, Renee, wonderful to see you. And he's just standing there. It was so much Canadian. Lauren is the only Canadian on this show. It was all the Canadian. Yeah,
no fruit though.
No, you had Edge, you had Renee, you had Jericho, you had Omega. It was just a Mount Rushmore of Canadian.
I need more Molson's and maple syrup.
Then him and Kenny shook hands, and Kenny was like, hey, this is like really, really nice to meet you. Like, I'm looking forward to wrestling you, whatever. And that was just a cool little mini segment. And then you get Edge just cutting a fantastic promo to end the show. I loved how he mentioned Christian's real name at first, and then he said, but you guys call him Christian Cage, so I'm going to call him Christian Cage. And he mentioned his kids, why he went to AEW. We all seen it 1,000 times now. Christian comes out. He gives the spiel to Christian. We need to team up again, show these people that we are one of the best, or the people that haven't seen us, just how great we were, and blah, blah, blah. And then you get the hug. And then you get, very simply, go fuck yourself. And that's it. And it was just like unbelievable.
An iconic line in pro wrestling now.
Oh,
no,
like
for
that.
Real.
Yeah.
Go fuck
like it was
yourself.
just immediate.
It's
like
tremendous.
Oh my God. It was so good. And they're clearly, one of the big matches that will be at Full Gear. It's going to be Christian versus Adam Copeland versus Edge.
Is it?
You don't think so? Oh, you think? Oh, do you not think so?
All I'm saying is that we're for Title Tuesday, we're setting up a number one contenders match for the TNT title, Danielson versus Strickland.
Yeah, that is true.
Is that a blow? Is that something you just blow off on a Wednesday night? A Christian Cage Danielson match, a Christian Cage Strickland match. Hey, by the way, Bryan Danielson's dad is dead. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh God, so that is true. That is true.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Didn't even think about that.
So do we think Christian tries to dodge?
And here's something else. Look, here's something else you had at All Out recently, right? At All In, excuse me. You had what was the main event? It was the AEW World championship? What was the main event at All In? That All In was the championship.
It was the world
And
championship.
All Out was
All
the main
Out
event.
was
The international title.
Yeah.
What was the main event at this pay-per-view
TNT.
here? The TNT title. So are we cycling through these?
yeah.
Or are we gonna go back? You know, it's like what's gonna be the main event at which title is going to main event Full Gear now? I think these are interesting questions here.
Yeah, that's how we're booking
this is
Christian.
how we're
We have to look around. Whose dad is dead? All right, you're
They
next.
got a murder board,
You're
of
next.
dead fathers.
Yeah, you're next.
Listen, Christian, my dad is dead. If we need to have a program, let's have a program.
Mine as well.
But,
I can.
you know.
I mean, I wouldn't last long, but yeah. But yeah, like Warren said, an iconic line forever now in canon forever.
I particularly loved. So you could kind of see what I got out of it, at least, was right before he says "Go fuck yourself," and I feel like I think the hug was genuine.
And you could see
felt-
Christian making facial like he was like he didn't want to do what he was about to do.
Yeah, because
Like
he knew
truly loves the guy. He loves him.
he
you know?
probably. I'm imagining maybe there's a promo in his future where he goes, "I never wanted you to come here because I didn't want you to be somebody that I had to beat."
At WrestleDream, when he walks out there, when Christian's standing there, he looks right at Edge and he goes, "What do you want?" Like that's what Christian mouth. What do you want? Not what like he's just what do you want? Like why are you here? Like exactly like what you said. Why are you here? What do you want? What the hell are you? This ain't your place.
Yeah,
You're over there.
When he hugged him and he made this face like, "Oh, God, I'm gonna have to say, go fuck yourself." You know,
I gotta do it.
You know, did he even look at him after he said that?
No, he just.
I don't think so. I think he just.
Yep. And then he walked
said-
to the ramp. He walked to the ramp and he said some more, and then he was joined by his guys. But you could see the anguish on his face when he gave the hug, like he was like, you know.
You know what promo I want him to cut, Christian Cage, next week? It's not the promo I want is not, "I don't want to fight you, brother." It's more like, "I did not want you here. I left the other company because Vince liked you more, and I have always been the better wrestler. So I went away and I made my name myself, and I did not need I did not have the luxury of management telling me you're going to be the star. I had to make myself the star. I needed to get away from your shadow. What the hell are you doing here? You're in my world now, pal." That's the promo I want from Christian Cage.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And it's going to be tremendous if he does it.
Oh yeah. But that was the first thing when he came back and they had that first stare off, you could clearly see Christian. What do you want?
What do you want?
Like, why are you bothering me? What do you want?
I love
Go
it.
home.
Yeah,
Go
like
back to
you're
your
not
thing.
get away from me. I came here to get away from
stayed
you.
at my house recently, and we're
Yes.
best friends, but we don't need to work together. Get the fuck away from me.
Exactly. Like, hey, I came here to get away from you. Why are you here right now?
Exactly.
I think that was brilliant. All right, gentlemen, we ran a little bit over, but it is what it is. Want to thank you both for hopping on. I know Warren hit up Pluggo a little bit right before, and he was like, "I want in tonight." We were like, "Let's go, let's go."
It's like, hey,
He's like, "I got a new plant. Let's do this."
Yeah, he's like, "I bought new plants. I want to talk about them. Let's go."
Kristen's
that's-
sick of me talking about him. I need other people to talk about my plants with.
And obviously, I wanted to invite Drew on to talk some AEW as well, because he is a guy that I talk AEW with on a weekly basis. But this Sunday, I unfortunately have to miss Firmly AEW for shoot job work reasons. So I at least wanted to have him on for a little bit tonight to talk some AEW, because that is something I look forward to doing weekly, is chatting with Drew. So,
With you, my friend.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So before we get out of here, Drew, why don't you let the people know where they can follow you and find you? Then we'll go over to Warren, and then Pluggo will do his thing, and then we shall get out of here.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Big Money Drew. You can find me collecting the super chats and humper chats for Fightful's post collision show. You can find my cats whenever I'm on camera as well, because they love jumping in the frame. And Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. All the links for all my stuff on the Twitter bio. Thank you very much for having me. And of course, Firmly AEW.
Yeah.
And follow at Firmly AEW on Twitter also.
Yes, we have a Twitter account we have a Twitter account for Firmly AEW. It is literally just at Firmly AEW. Go give us a follow. We're going to be live tweeting from that during the AEW shows a lot more often coming up in the near future. So go give us a follow. And now the lovely Mr. Warren Hayes, let the people know where they can find you, my friend.
Well, it can be a collective effort. You can find me and you can help me find myself. I'm very much in a self-reflective period right now where I'm trying to recenter my chi. I'm a little lost right now. My place in the universe. What is my purpose? So come find me and help myself find myself on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. Also, we'll talk about wrestling for a couple of hours on end. I record live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, the video on demand is available the very next day, or also available on your favorite podcast application. So whether you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Amazon Music or Google Podcasts or YouTube Music or iHeartRadio or Stitcher's shutting down, so I can't say Stitcher anymore. Deezer. Am I on Deezer? I don't know if I'm on Deezer. Look, wherever you listen to audio, find the Mr. Warren Hayes Show podcast. That's awesome. And if the bouncers have let you into Blue Sky, I'm on Blue Sky as well at mrwarrenhayes.bsky.whatever, however their things work. Yeah, find me there as well. That'd be fun. That's a cool time to chat. But thank you guys for allowing me to brute force my way into your show tonight.
Yeah, of course. Always, you're always welcome here. He mentioned it earlier, but if you are looking to watch Warren live next week, it'll be on Monday instead of Tuesday.
It is on Monday. Yes, that is correct. Thank you.
Tinder, Bumble, Grindr, Warren.
Yeah, I know.
That is
everybody.
Grindr audio. I thought Mrs. Pluggo was meowing at me. No, she sees Drew's cat.
She's meowing at Drew's cat. My cat is gnawing at this door trying to get in here right now. So once we end, I'm gonna be like, all right, bud. But Pluggo, do the thing. Let the people know where they can find us and you, brother.
Jeez, it's a big one today. Well, you can find me at Pluggo_ on Twitter, at Pluggo Loves Wrestling on all their social media websites. You can find me tomorrow. I have a Warrior Wrestler preview dropping on lovewrestling.ca, written thing. I'll be at the show, so if you're at the show, come say hi. Saturday morning, 4 Exposure Pod with Grainmaker, a.k.a. Blair. We'll be running down all of the big indie shows this weekend. There's a lot. So stay tuned for that at 10 a.m. And then Saturday, I will be at Fastlane, and I'll be at the presser. So I'll be hanging out. So come see me. Come say hi. And then, that's where you can find me. And then you can find our show page at Between Two Beards, at B2Beards on all social medias. We just signed up for Instagram because it asked me to on Facebook, so I did it. So now we're on everything. Where you can figure out what we're doing with the show, what we got going on, all the clips, all that fun stuff. So that's where you can find us.
Yep. You can find me at JPJ Loves. Go ahead, Warren.
Can I plug one last thing?
Absolutely.
Plug everything.
The PWI Women's 250 is coming out very soon. October 19 is the drop date.
Yes.
250 this year, 100 extra women that we're ranking this year. Last year was a 150. This year, that's it, 100 more. I'm at least that good in math, but very excited to share that with all of you, so you can see our top pick, our top 5, our top 10. It's a great list. And
you and Kristen need to come on and talk.
Yeah, we need to get you guys on. Either that within the couple weeks after it drops. We got to get both of you on to talk about that.
We will gladly come. So follow Pro Wrestling Illustrated on all of their social medias and whatnot. It's going to be tremendous.
On the road to 500 with that list, baby.
Love it.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, I'll tell you one thing. There's one woman. Her name is Kristen Ashley. She's been pushing hard for bigger, better, stronger lists because, listen, I think this. She's been on multiple lists, and this I think is my second year on the list. I don't remember. I'm old, and the last year we were doing 150, and it was really hard. Like it was really hard to squeeze, as many women in there as possible. And this year we were like, 100 more. We're gonna be running out. We'll be making up people to fill out this list. But no, it was just as hard. There's so much great talent out there. So women's wrestling is booming, and it this is an argument for another time, but it should be in a better place when it comes to mainstream Major League Pro Wrestling. Because the women are there, they're working hard, and it's tremendous. So,
well, that's in 2 weeks, 2 weeks to the day, the 19th. So the spot is yours if you guys want it. We'll come on, we'll chop it up.
Yeah, let's do it. You can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms. You can also find me over there on Twitch, where we, guess what, play video games, have some fun, do stuff like that. You can find me here every Thursday night between two beers with my boy Pluggo and some of our friends that pop on. You can find me every Sunday. Like I said, I will not be on this Sunday, sadly, but those are few and far between. But you can find me every Sunday talking with Drew, where we talk all things AEW. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. on our very own friend Josh Robinson's channel, we will be doing our WWE 2K23 sim of what we talked about as the greatest pay-per-view of all time, Fastlane, happening Saturday evening for WWE. So that should be a lot of fun streaming that. It's always a wild time doing that. So go check us out over on Josh's channel. Other than that, Warren, Drew, thank you again for joining us tonight. Pluggo, you know I love you. Can't wait to do it again next week, buddy.
Yes,
and until then,
more giraffes!
More giraffes. Uh-oh, don't get Warren started. Everyone say hi to Sue. Appreciate y'all.
And then head over to Twitch and hang out with
that
Kyle
is true.
Sparks talking
if you
ROH.
like, if you're digging Ring of Honor and all that stuff, he's over there on Twitch live now.
All
Go say hi to Sue. See you next week. Peace.
Sue.
Hey there, Plugo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm gonna cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer gonna get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Oh, or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans.